Well, well, well. Man, I am under construction, but I had to take time out today. A great interview by one Brian Schottenheimer. Again, I'm just wondering, when are the people who keep lying to themselves, when are they going to come around to the truth? Love it or hate it, Brian Schottenheimer has done something that no one, and I'm including Bill Parcells, Jason Garrett, none of them did what Brian Schottenheimer has done in one off season. None of them have done it. And for people who keep saying, "Oh, it's the same thing, it's the same front office," okay, you go ahead and put your hand, you keep your head in the sand. We're gonna focus on the truth. Brian Schottenheimer has changed this culture. And I hope Brian Schottenheimer also has an influence on the media in Dallas. Because I'm telling you, the media in Dallas is one of its worst issues. The media in Dallas is one of its worst issues. And we have definitely got to make sure that we do something to fix that also. They have a very negative perception of this team, and I hope it changes with everything that Brian Schottenheimer's doing. But we'll see how it goes. But again, we have a great show planned for the day. We're only going to be a couple of hours. We got a couple of things that we have to, we still got some things that we're trying to take care of as far as the studio goes. And so we're going to continue to work on that. Let me give you what the topics are today. I think we got 3 very good topics. So today we're going to look at the Brian Schottenheimer press conference. The Brian Schottenheimer press conference. We're going to check that out. We're going to listen to it in its entirety. Then we got a press conference. Well, not a press conference, but Brian Broaddus was on the fan, I believe, today. Brian Broaddus brought up a very good, well, I don't know if he brought it up, but there's a very good discussion that they have on whether or not the draft helped out Dak Prescott. Did the draft directly help out Dak Prescott? I haven't listened to it, so we're going to react to it together. And then, finally, we're going to listen to some of the player interviews by the rookies as the rookie training camp is going. And I'm hearing a lot of good things about the rookie training camp. So, those are our 3 topics. Brian's presser, Dak in the draft, player interviews, and then we're going to conclude. Who knows? Maybe there'll be some breaking news while we're on here. But again, that is going to be where we're going to be for the next couple of hours. Then the night will be yours. So let's go ahead and get this thing going. Let's get a quick roll call, and then we're going to get into our first topic. Good to see all you Cowboy fans today. Let's get it. Yep, y'all know what time it is. Let's get that roll call, and then we're going to get right into this. My man Dak owns Filthy and the Mango. Yes, sir. Well. My man Lost in Translation, he says, "Salute, G. I got my hat, brother. Thank you so much." Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you. We're going to be having more giveaways going forward. Once we get everything settled, we're going to be having giveaways and other things quite a bit. The dude, he said, well. Yes, sir. It's a wonderful Saturday night to talk a little Cowboys. Yes, sir. Hurricane Jason in the crib. He said, "What's your thoughts on Jaden Blue?" We're going to get there. Because, man, boss, man, I'm not even going to say it. I'm just going to, don't worry, Hurricane. We'll just put that on the list. We'll put that on the list. What do I think about Jaden Blue? Well, I'm definitely going to tell you what I think about it. Now that you asked. Since you asked. We'll put that down for the day. We'll talk about that. Mo3 Ski, what's up? G, what's up? He said, "I finally catch you live." Yes, sir. Glad that you can do it. Glad you to be a part of the show. This is the best chat on YouTube. Brandy Mahoney, what's going on? Dak owns. What pick is that? Yeah, Dak owns. I'm telling you, he's the only man I know. His avatar and his name, he must got some kind of endorsement deals. Charlie World Crazy 757. He says Skip. Yes, sir. I remember them days. Skip. Jared Thomas, the #1 Dak Prescott fan. I'm #2. Jared Thomas says, it was a great presser. Yes, sir. This team is looking serious. He said they could be a force in the playoffs. Yes, sir. Brandy Mahoney again. She says, hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Good to see you again, Brandy Mahoney. Big Dal 8604 in the crib. What's good with you? Good to see you. Tony Brown 916. It's all good. What's going on with you? Timothy Govan in the crib. Yes, sir. Good evening. William Vogeli. What's going on? Yes, sir. Let's go. Exhale Music. What's going on with you? Good to see you. My girl Nisi. Nisi, you'll be receiving something in the mail soon. Appreciate you. Good to see you in the chat. Charlie World. He said, y'all seen the video of Skip Bayless? He doing an electric slide with a black and I gotta see it. You said black and mild his mouth, the do-rag holding the bottle of La Poirier cognac. That's cold, Skip. I gotta check that out, man. You ain't lying. That boy Skip, he like everybody else. Kick the man when he down. Kick the man when he down. Timothy Goldman said, did Dak lobby for Mari Cooper return? I'm not sure. Craig English, what's going on? In the crib. And Trail Sanford, good to see you. D Webb 9 Ether, what's going up? What's going on? What's popping? DC4L, Mr. Brightside, yes sir. Good to see you. Jesse Ortiz, what up, what up? Yes sir. Charlie Caught in the crib. Oh man, yes sir. God-fearing man, you better believe it. Better believe it, Charlie. And obviously you are too. To God be the glory. My man Hoodie Kush 81 in the crib. Yes sir. Jigga man. Yes sir. Jigga man, I've been telling us about this man. Man, I'm telling you. Schtty sold me. Schtty sold me quick in the process. Newhouse fam in the crib. Yes, sir. TME greatness in the crib. Good to see you. Yes, yes. G. Nisa said, G, we need a roll call chant. Yeah, yeah. All right, Nisa, you made the suggestion. Tell us what it is, and we'll do it. All right, Tony Brown. Downtown Tony Brown in the crib. My man Michael Smooth. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Michael Smooth. I hope it fit well. All right, Columbus Hill in the crib. And we about to get this thing going. Let's get it going and let's go to our first topic.
Yes! Here we go!
Yes, yes, yes. You know I got you, Nisi. All right. And again, hey, y'all, we got some things. I got some more things in the works. I got so many things going on, but I got some things in the works. And boy, I got some things coming for the community. Got to do it for the culture. I appreciate all y'all, all your support. We've hit the 10,000 mark and we're still moving. Man, let me tell you something. We still moving pretty fast. So we're going to see how much more y'all can do because it's all about y'all. It's not about me. It's about the Cowboys. Quack, quack. Yes, sir. Living a dream. Yes, sir. It's a great day to be a Cowboys fan. Let's get into this interview with none other than Brian Schottenheimer. Brian Schottenheimer, boy, I'm telling you. Brian Schottenheimer. I've never seen this franchise like it is, except with Jimmy Johnson. I thought I would never see it again. I really did. I never thought I would see this franchise get behind a coach. And don't get me wrong. The Cowboys have a tendency kind of in the beginning, they'll get behind you. You know, they'll do a few things, let you do a few things. But the stuff with Brian Schottenheimer is just different. It's like they are the ones influenced by him. They're singing his praises. They're singing all the things that he's doing. And so Brian Schottenheimer, I'm telling you, man, he is a breath of fresh air. I think he's a breath of fresh air for the front office. I think he's a breath of fresh air for the fan base. And I think he's a breath of fresh air for the team. And so, man, Brian Schottenheimer just seems like he knows how to say the right things. He says the right things. Now we're watching the practices, sort of. We're kind of watching the practices and everything we're hearing about the practices. One word, energy. Energy. Y'all remember what Dak Prescott started out saying last year about practice? He said, we're not practicing hard. Well, they're not saying this stuff in the first day of the rookie minicamp. They're using the word energy. Energy. People being able to be themselves and all these different things. So again, Brian is doing something, and I'm telling you, winning starts in the mind. Everything you do in this life, let me tell you something. Everything you do in this life starts in the mind. It starts in the mind. You have to think it, write it down, organize it into a plan, put it into effect. And you put it into effect piece by piece by piece. And then as you put it into effect, you infect everybody with your plan. You tell everybody what your plan is around you. So that first people be like, oh yeah, you gonna do that? Yeah, I believe it when I see it. And then as you start to put the plan in place, people start believing in the plan. And then when people start believing in the plan, they get behind the plan, and then they become a part of the plan. And so Brian Schottenheimer made the students doing work with the Dallas Cowboys. So let's check this out. It's 23 minutes. Let's get into it.
What's the objective of the rookies this weekend for you guys?
A couple things. Great question. I'd say number one is get them connected. Get them connected to each other, the coaches, the building. Part of that is getting comfortable being here and where we work out and where the meeting rooms are and, okay, what's that person's name? What's that person do here? All those things. And then we got a lot of catching up to do from a football standpoint. We're 3 weeks in, I guess, with our vets. And so that's kind of what I talked about to them, the 3 C's. Get them comfortable being a Cowboy, getting them kind of caught up with football, but probably most importantly, getting them connected to one another.
You started the offseason program a week later than what you normally would as a rookie head coach. Why was that?
I think it was just, you get plenty of work. I wasn't going to do the mini camp. You'd have to start the first week to do the mini camp. Again, you guys get it. This is somebody said underwear Olympics, right? I mean, it's like you get to run around a little bit, but I felt really good about the schedule, and then I wanted the extra week to just kind of give these guys a little bit more time to get away, and then when they got back, it was time to get to work.
I'm old enough to remember when they did pads.
Me too. Me too.
Stuff like that. How can a player make an impression in the underwear Olympics?
Yeah.
How can what can you see from them and say, okay, this guy got it?
It's hard. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't hard. I think it's not just on the field, Clarence. I think it is in the meeting room. It's good questions. We talk about here like we have reviews, not installs. What does that mean? We put the stuff out the night before. It's their responsibility, both the vets and the young guys, the rookies are no different, that they look it over. So when we start the meetings and we start doing installation, that it's not us teaching it to them cold. They should come with questions, ideas, and things like that. So when we ask questions, a little bit of peer pressure. You see the guys that have maybe looked it over more than the other guys. But again, we're not going to get to full speed a whole lot today. We'll do some things. I'm used to some of the older days. Shoot, we used to have 45, 50 guys. Hell, I'll go back to 2006 when I was with the Jets, my first year as a coordinator. And I think we had like 40-something guys, but we didn't have a left guard. So Mike Devlin was our tight end coach at the time, and he was a former offensive lineman. So we put him in full pads. It was probably illegal back in the day, but we did it. And I remember we were running a power play to the right, so Mike was pulling and hitting this 22-year-old just stud linebacker, whoever it was. And then, when you mess up a play, you reload. So we reloaded the play like 3 or 4 times. And Mike was like, stop, I need a break, timeout. Like, I've never heard a player, which was a coach at the time, call a timeout in the huddle because he was so gassed. But we've learned to adapt. There'll be a little bit of a walkthrough. We'll do some more individual stuff and some group stuff where we're throwing. You'll see the ball handling stuff with the quarterbacks, and but it's definitely a different era of football.
How important? You have Jordan's rookie draft pick signed. How important was that? Get them signed, get that out of the way before the camp. Like both of us don't have to worry about that. You can really get him acclimated to.
I think it's more for them, just their peace of mind. They feel good about it, so they can focus on football. I think the big thing, for us, it's a little different. Usually we do it 2 weeks after the draft. This week we decide to do it now. They're going to have to leave, so these guys are going to need to have a plan of attack of what they're doing, how they're keeping their conditioning up. Because what I've told them all, and I'm kind of doing individual sit-downs with all the guys, is when you leave here on Sunday, when they leave tomorrow midday, and they all go home or they go back to their school, wherever they're training, they have to find time to condition. They have to find time to work out. They have to find time to study. Again, talked about getting caught up. The installs for rookie minicamp are much smaller than what we do with the vet.
Pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. Do y'all remember Dak Prescott last year? I want you to remember what Dak Prescott was saying about the practices. 1, he said they were not practicing hard. 2, he said, what are they doing away from the facility? What are they doing when they're not playing football? Are you catching what Brian Schottenheimer is saying? Brian Schottenheimer, I'm telling y'all, this guy was like a sponge around that entire building. And I'm going to tell you something we may not realize that helped Brian Schottenheimer out in his interview. This man saw everything that Mike McCarthy was not doing. He listened to things that were being said, plus he had his own plan. He's doing everything that Mike McCarthy was not doing. And Brian Schottenheimer, unlike Mike McCarthy, with the Super Bowl chip on his shoulder, Brian Schottenheimer has a chip on his shoulder because he knows he has to win. Because if he doesn't win, then everybody's going to be saying, I told you so. This is why you shouldn't have hired him as the coach. So Brian Schottenheimer understands what's going on, and he's understanding what he needs to be doing. And I think it is powerful when you think about, listen to what he's saying. What are they doing? What are they doing when they're not on the field? What are they not? I mean, he's keeping up with all of that. This is a very powerful point to pay attention to. This man is on top of it, I'm telling you. He is teaching a team how to eat, sleep, and breathe. Football. Football. You got to get your head in the game early. Right now. Not later. Don't take this for granted. No. Now. Get your head in the game. Let me read a couple of comments. Boy, y'all got me rolling up in here. Let me read the super chat first. Then read some of these comments. Y'all got me rolling up in here. My man Quack Quack. Appreciate that. Yes, sir. Appreciate that super chat. $20 super chat by Quack Quack. He says Schtty is practicing what he preached. Yes. Gee, he's a leader of men. Quack Quack. Facts. Facts. This is one of the problems. I'm telling you. See, people don't understand something about Mike McCarthy. People think you hate on Mike McCarthy when you tell the truth. I'm telling the truth about Mike McCarthy. I like Mike McCarthy. I'm pretty sure he was a great man. He seemed to be a father figure. I think the players liked him, but I don't think they liked his coaching style. I don't think they liked his philosophy of football, his scheme, even his motivation. People have to understand something. There's a difference in liking a coach and liking the way that coach coaches. Those are two different things. Some of the best coaches I played for were the coaches I couldn't stand. Some of the bosses that I worked for, some of the best bosses I ever worked for were the bosses I couldn't stand. And it wasn't because they were necessarily bad guys, bad people, but it's how meticulous they were. They were always on point. They were always about the business, always about being successful. And people like that, they set a standard in you, and they're basically telling you, no, I'm not letting you fail on my watch. Because if you fail, I fail. And so Brian Schottenheimer, man, I'm telling you, Quack Quack, yes, you hit it right on the head. He's a leader of men. He's a leader of men. And when you're a leader of men, man, when you step into a role and people are like, yeah, he brand new, he ain't this. No, let me tell you something. When you're a leader, you're a leader. It don't matter when you step in. When you're a leader, period. Let me read a couple of comments, then we'll get back to Brian. I love what Nisi said. Nisi said, I'm excited for the season, and I have my jugs of Kool-Aid ready, and I'm pouring the Kool-Aid for you. I'm pouring the Kool-Aid for you, Nisi. Because I'm telling you, I've been saying it. It didn't take much for him. Once I started hearing the things he was saying, and I started watching what Jerry and the front office started doing, and they started singing his same philosophy, I said, I'm in. I'm in. And you could tell the way he was moving. The dude was serious about everything he was doing. I'm in. Hoodie Kush, he said he talking about Ben Johnson like he's a head coach, but he said they poo-pooing on Schtty like he don't got 25 years of football knowledge. Hoodie Kush, let me tell you something. People are going to look back on this in a couple of years, and I'm going to just tell you the truth. I would not coach the Chicago Bears. I would not coach the Chicago Bears. They're that type of team. You think that the Cowboys, we always say we got bad management. What do you think about the Bears? Why do we think they have literally not won in years? I mean, Super Bowl or bust. Everything else is trash with them. Why do we think they're that type of team? They are a team where quarterbacks go to die. I would not want to coach. I don't care who they have as a quarterback. I would not want to coach the Chicago Bears. And we're going to see what Ben Johnson is made of. I would have loved to have him here in Dallas, but I don't think he would have fit. You know, you talk about egos. I think his ego may be a little too big for Dallas. But when you think about Brian Schottenheimer, it's not his ego that's changing the culture. It's his humility. It's his humility. It's his love for the game. It's his love for the players. It's everything about him that is changing the culture. He's a leader of men. And leaders, a lot of people don't understand something. The Bible says something that's so powerful. Let he who is greatest among you, let him serve. People don't understand what leaders do. Leaders serve. They serve the people who they lead. They serve them. They nurture them. They take care of them. They help them mentally, spiritually. They try to help them to be the best they can be physically. That's what real leaders do. Brian Schottenheimer is the man. And I'm telling you, I understand exactly what you're saying, how people are towards this man. My girl, Angie. What's going on? Good to see you in the chat. Angie said, Schtty played his cards right. He stood back and watched. I'm going to let that sink in for y'all. Angie, you said it perfectly. He stood back and watched. And a lot of people say, ooh, well, why wasn't he doing this stuff when he was the assistant or when he was the offense coordinator? Did you hear what you just said? Everything we heard about Mike McCarthy. Do you think he want to listen to Brian Schottenheimer say you ought to do this and you ought to do this and you ought to do this? Hey, there's only so much you can get in, man. Before somebody will look at you and say, oh, you want to be the coach. Hey, when you're trying to help people, man, you got to really be careful how you help them. You have a whole lot of ideas on what you would be doing and what we could do, but you can't do that as someone's assistant. You can't do that. You can do some things, but you overstep your boundaries, you done. They don't want to hear you. And I think Brian probably got in what he could get in. But just listen to some things about Mike McCarthy. He was kind of a paranoid guy. But, Brian Schottenheimer, Angie, right on the head, he stood back and watched. Angie said, I believe that will be one of the benefits that helps him lead the team to a culture that's needed to thrive and succeed. Angie, let's capitalize on something else you said. Angie, do you remember this? Do you remember when Mike McCarthy lied and said he'd watched all the Dallas Cowboy games? Does anybody remember this lie? Mike McCarthy, oh yeah, I went back and watched all the Dallas Cowboy games. I went back and studied them and, stop it. Only for later to find out he didn't do it. But you know what we know about Schtty? We know he has watched the last 2 years of the football game. We know because he's been in the building. He's been in the building. He's been taking notes. And again, it's not just his notes. He's the son of Marty Schottenheimer. This man knew one day, I bet you, he knew, I'm going to be a coach. And so I'm just telling you, if you've ever worked in a job and you see the man or the person above you, the woman above you, and he or she is crumbling, and you know that you might be the next in line, well, you pretty much sitting there going, okay, so if I do get this job, I'm going to do this, 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 and then this is the stuff right here. This man was prepared. He was prepared, and it was the perfect storm for him to become the coach. You right on point, Ange, I'm telling you, right on point. Mo3 Ski, he says, appreciate that super chat. Yes, sir. $4.99 and $4.99. He says, G, fan forever. He said, hands down, this is the best offseason and draft we have seen in long time. I'm learning how to do this. Mo3, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I've been saying the same thing, and we got people out there who are doubting, oh, we've heard this before, it's the same. No, I don't care what you say. It is not the same old thing. They did not do this much work in an offseason with Jason Garrett, nor did they do it with Bill Parcells, nor did they do it with Mike McCarthy. They have not done this since Jimmy. They have not done this type of stuff since Jimmy. And the thing that I'm so happy with, they're not done. Wait a minute, let me get another comment in here that I absolutely like this I absolutely love this comment. Exhale Music. Boy, this statement right here. This is a powerful statement. Exhale Music says, I think Jerry revered Marty. I agree. I agree. And I'm going to tell you something, man. If you ever watched old school Marty Schottenheimer, you couldn't help but love Marty Schottenheimer. You could not help but love Marty Schottenheimer. You couldn't help but feel sorry for Marty Schottenheimer. I'm old enough to remember some of his the losses that this man would suffer. Boy. 200 plus wins, no Super Bowls. I think he's one of the very few coaches, if not the only coach, that has 200 plus regular season wins, no Super Bowls. It's crazy. And I agree with you. I believe Jerry does revere this man. I do. My girl Angie, she said, Schtty is hungry. Woo! Angie, that statement right there. Wait a minute. I'm laughing at the last statement. I'm going to get to that in a moment. Angie says, Schtty is hungry. McCarthy was full. That's a powerful statement. That's a powerful statement. Angie, you remember what Dak said? Dak said after he lobbied for McCarthy to stay, and I would love to know how Dak felt when Mike McCarthy said, oh, I don't know what Dak talking about. Just threw Dak all up under the bus and rolled over. I got plenty to say so on this team. Oh, okay. I wonder how Dak felt. But do you remember what Dak said after he gets out the building? Mike was different. How was he different, Dak? Because Mike had already won a Super Bowl. Mike had already done it. So what are you saying, Dak? He was carrying himself. See, he was carrying himself like he already done it, and he know how to do it. Schottenheimer isn't carrying himself like he's already done it. He's carrying himself like he is hungry to do it. He wants to do it bad. He wants to do what his father couldn't do, so he can dedicate that Super Bowl to his father. There's a difference. And I'm telling you, that is a powerful difference, because you ever met somebody come in from another company and they've been successful, and every time you look up, they talking about, well, this is how we used to do it. And this is how we used to do it. And then about day 3, you be like, man, here this dude come again. He going to tell us how they used to do it. I don't care how they used to do it where you come from. This is where you are now. Brian Schottenheimer, he's coming in hungry. And it's a whole different mindset. And let me throw this last part on that. Then we're gonna go back to Brian Schottenheimer. In Angie style, Angie says the stomach tells it all. Angie said the stomach tells it all. Angie, you know what's funny about what you said though? Because Skip Bayless on one of his shows, boy. Skip Bayless said that was one of the things he didn't like about Brian Schottenheimer. He said that he just feels like when you're a coach, a head coach of a team, he said you shouldn't be built like that. He said that man was built bad to be a coach. He said he was alluding to the fact that he would have a hard time listening to a coach who out of shape. So, hey, Angie, there's more to that than you realize when you says his stomach shows it all. And that is funny, but it's actually facts.
Veterans, and so the veterans I think we're on concept teach 8 or 9 with the vets, so they've got some work to do, but the maturity of this group, which I think you guys have had a chance to talk to them, they're very mature. I think they'll
Brandy.
maximize the fact of while they're away, using that time to get caught up on what we're doing, but also find time to work out and stuff. Because, they're flying around, and they've been flying around, and they celebrated the draft as they should. But it's kind of getting closer to go time for them now.
Brian Tudor with ESPN, you've had the job since January, whatever, and you've put a staff down all this stuff. What's it like to now actually, coach on the field with guys and be out there and do some stuff for the first?
Yeah, it's this weekend is always exciting. You see the nervousness with some of the players, but also the excitement. A lot of these guys have been dreaming about this day their entire life, going to play pro football and be selected or at least have an opportunity.
John L. Hill, I've been saying the same thing. I know some folks think I'm crazy. Niecy, I got the Kool-Aid. Newhouse fam, I got the Kool-Aid. But I was already saying this. John L., I'm telling you, this is why I'm just saying. I'm not trying to compare him to Jimmy yet. But what I am saying, because I'm old enough, and I remember what happened when Jimmy came to this team. And the one thing, if you go back and check what Jimmy did those first 2 years, there was a whole lot of movement. They got the Herschel Walker trade. There was a whole lot of movement. Now, where Jimmy did his movement was trading. Jimmy did a lot of his damage in trading. Boy, you go back and look at that Herschel Walker trade. Jimmy got so many players out of that Jimmy Johnson trade. It's insane when you go back and do the trail on it. But Jimmy, man, I'm telling you, Jimmy made move after move after move after move after move after move. And they were always in the mode of improving the team. Let me tell you something. Y'all not gonna be able to stand me. If Jerry and Steven, and I'm gonna change it to Steven and Jerry. If they do something at the trade deadline, oh, I'm done. Y'all ain't gonna, I'll be unbearable for some people. If they go and try to get a piece at the trade deadline, that's telling me all I need to know. I don't even want to go that far ahead, but I'm telling you, with Jimmy, they were always in. Can we get somebody to improve the team? Can we get somebody to improve the team? Can we improve the team? Can we improve the team? This seems to be where they are too. This is why, as we talk about, and we may talk a little bit today about maybe some more places the Cowboys need to add to, I'm not even worried because everything they've shown me so far, they seem to know the needs, they're speaking the needs out loud, and they're addressing them. And again, guys, we have to understand, Cowboy Nation, Rome was not built in a day. Rome was not built in a day. We're finally gonna get to the point, guys. As much as we want to keep building, we're gonna have to get to the point to where we're probably gonna have to say, okay, until the trade deadline, now we're gonna have to stop, and now we got to focus on just making sure this team is performing at a very high level and getting the coaches and the players. Because right now we're watching the practices. We got the rookies and the coaches. They're gelling. Now we got to get the team to start gelling. Then we got to get this team in live fire, get them in a real game. First, we got to get them past the preseason, let them kind of work out the live action stuff, and then we're going to get them into the season. So we got to watch. We understand what we're watching. Temper our expectations while at the same time we know we're going to be better than last year. So we're going to watch this come together, and then we're going to watch this team continue to get built next season. So what we're watching right now, just be encouraged. It's still a work in progress, and we are making huge strides.
To, compete. But for me, I love being on the grass. Like that's where as a coach, you truly are, you get lost. You get lost in the moment. You get lost in the chance to connect and put hands on and get involved in the drills. Like I'm a very on-the-go coach. I think you'll see that with our staff. They're very on the go and great energy, great juice. But that's what it's about. I mean, anybody can coach them in the meeting room. It's about being able to take the stuff from the meeting room to the field, but also the development of fundamentals, which you guys have heard me talk about for a long time, how important it is for a coach to be able to take a small, simple detail, break it down into the building blocks, and then get the player to execute it. That's how you take a good player to a great player and a great player to a superstar.
See, that's exactly what Brian is talking about. Brian is talking about the gelling process. He's talking about the cooking process. Okay, once you mix all this stuff, you got to get it mixed. Get all this stuff mixed together. And then you got to let it cook so that the ingredients start melding together into what they want it to be. And that's exactly what he's talking about. They got to get out there on the field. They got to start doing some things. They've already got a piece of it out there, and they're going to continue to get more of it out there as we keep going.
As the play caller, do you have the time or the wherewithal to, hey, what are the DBs doing here? Hey, what are the D-top? Like, will you go from group to group?
I will. Yeah, I'll move around. Yeah, I think it's important. The cool thing about what we've been doing in phase 2 is the guys work out at different times. So, I haven't missed any of the things we've done from offense, defense, special teams. But, I'll obviously be hands-on with Dak and the quarterbacks a bunch. But, again, it's my job as a head coach to know exactly what's going on in every room and at every drill. And, again, our guys do a great job. The practice faces that we have, this is not one of them, but, it's very detailed out. So I can kind of look, ahead, Todd, and say, okay, hey, the second 5 minutes of individual, I want to go watch the DBs do this, or I want to go watch the linebackers do a pattern match drill, whatever it is. So because it's so clearly
Nisi, Cowboys Nation. Nisi, do you remember we were having this conversation early on in the season? We were having this conversation early on in the season, and we brought up the fact Mike McCarthy got deep into the season, sort of, and starts talking about, we're going to start crossing over the room. I'm going to start crossing over the room and spending more time with the defense and doing this and doing that. Are we hearing what Brian Schottenheimer is saying? This man is so genius. He's come up with a system to where he knows what each position group is doing and working on, so that he can look at any moment as he walks around and he knows exactly what they're doing. This man is showing you this is what organized looks like. This is what organized looks like. This is what it looks like to be a coach. I'm telling y'all, I said this during the season, and this is one of the things that irked me about this team over the last 4 to 5 seasons under Mike McCarthy. They seemed like 2 different teams. And then when Bone Fossil came in, it was 3 different teams. And neither one of these 3 teams were on the same page. Mike McCarthy seemed to be doing his own thing. Dan Quinn seemed to be doing his own thing. Bones Fossil got to the point. He started doing his own thing in the last season, planning out fake punts and things of that nature. It's like they were all 3 doing the same thing and not working for the same common goal. It's like they didn't even have a clue what each other were doing. It was like they were never on the same page. It was basically like on the team, it was the offense versus the defense. It's like they were never a team. This irked me. I talked about it during the season. It irked me so bad. And when you got a team that's divided like that, how do they be successful? Brian is smart. Obviously, he's come up with a system to know what they're doing so that he can go into any group he wants to and know exactly what that coach is working on. And he can compliment, he can talk it. Man, I'm telling you, if you do not understand and some people say the devil is in the details. I don't say the devil is in the details. Man, I say God is in the details. Success is in the details. When you can work when you can get the little things right, man, the big things are natural. The big things come easy when you can get the little things right. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. They focus so hard on the big things. Not understanding, man, no, it's the little things. It's the little things that make the big things a problem if you're not doing the little things. But if you do the little things, man, the big things are easy. Boy, this dude, man, you want to talk about attention to detail. Boy, this is crazy what this guy's talking about. And I don't even think people understand it. This is crazy what this man is talking about.
Scripted out what we're going to do or what they're doing at those time slots. It makes it easy for me to kind of say, okay, this is the period or two I want to go check out on defense.
Thinking about
man, I'm telling y'all, this dude, and I'm sure he's not the only coach that has ever done this, but you're talking about a first-year coach, got it together like this. This man has it together, man, in how he's approaching his business. He's approaching it right. Let me read a couple of comments. Kitty Boy, what up, man? Good to see you. He said, I love the direction the Cowboys are going in. He said, we got some dogs now, and we ain't finished adding. How about them Cowboys? Kitty Boy, you know what the key is, though? We're going to find out something. I've already told y'all this story, and I'm not going to tell the long story tonight. We already had dogs. That's the part we're about to find out. We already had dogs. I've told y'all before, a lion can lead a pack of deers better than a deer can lead a pack of lions. Man, when you got deer leading lions, man, them dudes gonna be out there grazing, unaware. Man, them dudes ain't even eating meat no more. Man, them lions out there, man, them lions and lionesses, man, they out there doing deer things. Nah, man, give me a lion over a pack of deer. Man, them jokers are fight a pack of wild hyenas. Cause them deer's gonna be fighting like lions. Man, you mess around and have them deers roaring up in there. The problem is, see, we've been running around saying this, and I said this before, we don't have dogs. Well, the dogs got to start up top, don't they? Don't the dogs need to start up top? Don't we need somebody that know how to bring the dog out of the dogs? Do you think a dog stopped being a dog because he's hanging around cats? People domesticate their dogs. That's why their dogs start hanging around cats and start playing around with hamsters and all this type of stuff. Why? Because they're domesticating them. Is it not a dog? It's the person who's training the dog. That's the problem. That's the part we don't realize. Yeah, you're going to find out something. Not only did we already have dogs, but the issue is now we got dogs in the coaching staff. And one of the dogs in the coaching staff is actually the coach. Yeah, we done bought them dogs out. And the coach is a dog. That's the part we got to hone in on. And because the coach is the dog, now you're seeing, man, we done got some dogs because who we brought in. Who they brought in under him got some dogs. Well, it's because he's a dog. His coaches, we're going to find out quickly. They're dogs. Some of the players we have, you're going to find out. Man, I didn't know he was like that. Yeah, you didn't know. He had a doggone deer leading lions. It ain't working.
Already been in the building, and Yeah, have you had to change anything in terms of the way they
Facts, Troy.
yourself around the players or anything like that now that being the head coach different from what your previous role?
No. I think I've always been someone that believes in connection, getting to know these guys. I've always been someone that's able to be demanding, and I'm pretty good at disciplining guys. Not really, man. I just, I promised myself, John, when I got this opportunity, that I wouldn't change, because I think I've seen too many people change. And I think the guys I've seen change, I'm not going to name them, they weren't very successful. And, I plan on being really successful. And the reason I think that I'll do that is because of my values, my beliefs, and how hard I work, but also the fact that I'm going to be me, and I'm not going to change that for anybody.
And then how involved are you?
What this man just said needs to be played back again. They're basically asking him, like, did you have to change to be a head coach? It's ironic because I hadn't even heard this interview. But I was just telling my wife today. People say that money changes people. Money doesn't change people. Money only enables people to become who they are. A lot of people don't even realize when you listen to Deion Sanders' song back in the day, Must Be the Money, he's not talking about money as far as he goes. He's talking about the way people changed around him must be the money. And I was just telling my wife today, I said, when you are successful at something, for me, and I was talking about myself, success to me doesn't make my ego come out. Success for me helps me to even be more humble. It helps me to be more humble. It makes me work harder. And it makes me appreciate what I have, because God giveth and God taketh away. You can have success today and no success tomorrow. And so as things happen to you in your life and you get success in an area, why would you change? I mean, why would you change? You should just be you, because that's what got you there. And that's why, for me, I always say, man, I'm not going to change for anybody when it comes to, success and being under somebody else's rule, or somebody trying to tell me how to do something, or, all these different things. No, I'm not changing for people. I can't hide who I am for people. I got to be who I am, because that's what got me to that point. And so Brian is saying something. Man, I'm not doing anything that, like, hey, man, now I'm a coach. Now I'm a coach. I got to do this and do this. No, Brian, no. I was already in this mode. And that mode is taking care of business. That mode is being a man. That mode is being a leader of men. And if you listen to people and they talk about Brian Schottenheimer, even when he was an assistant coach, they all tell you the same thing. His side of the ball was always prepared. Oh, you're saying that the man took care of business. Yeah, he always had his team. He always had his side of the ball prepared. I'm telling you, man, this dude is so down to earth. And I think the word that Angie is using right here is authentic. He's very authentic. And a lot of people don't understand when you're in leadership roles, for example. People don't understand. You're not selling the stuff around you. It's yourself you're selling. It's you. You're the most important part of what you do. It's you. And so it's important for you to be whatever it is, be the best at whatever it is that you do, while at the same time maintaining a certain level of humility, but also confidence. See, a lot of people don't understand humility and confidence actually go together, because the reason why I'm humble is because I know who I am. I teach this stuff all the time. I try to teach Christians. You confident because you know who you are. You're not confident because of your title. You're not confident because of your money, your house, your success, you know, what people think about you. That's not what your confidence is in if you're truly one of them. No, you're confident in who you are. You know what you're made of. And when you're like that, you do this. You do this. I'm telling y'all right now, this man has no choice but to be successful. He's just doing everything right. When you do the part you can control, and that's the thing that I like that he did. Skywalker Steele said this today on X, and I've said it before. Control the parts you can control. I teach people this all the time. You control what you can control, and most of the time, and actually all the time, everything will fall exactly how it's supposed to fall. This dude, I'm telling you, he is going to be successful because of the kind of person he is. And I'm telling you right now, as this season builds, you know, they were talking about last year, the Cowboys, they haven't given up on Mike McCarthy. Yeah, but they really didn't have any confidence in Mike McCarthy. I don't think they had confidence in McCarthy like that. I don't think we understand. We had a whole bunch of guys that their contracts were about to, you know, we were talking like, yeah, man, they playing hard for McCarthy. No, man, these guys' contracts were about to be up. They had no choice but not to quit. Guys had contracts coming up. No, guys had to play this game. But with Mike McCarthy, we're going to see a lot of these guys already with deals. And they're going to be playing harder for him than they ever would have played for Mike McCarthy, anybody else. Because they not only like the man that he is, but they also like the coach that he is. Because he's taking care of them. And he's taking care of business.
Kind of like the setup in the locker room. Like the players get into saying that, you know, like Pete on there yesterday, obviously there's some, you know, players that have left and some other guys, you know, Mike is closer to that, things like that. Do you have a big say in that? Is it up to the players?
That's what I said also, 6.
We moved some guys around.
We're not the team we're going to be next year. We're going to be even better.
Along with the help of the staff. Again, they don't really get a say in that. But there's a method to the madness. I think when the guys went into the team room for the first time, I made them all stand up after they sat down. I let them sit down.
I agree with Lost in Translation. Lost in Translation said, hit that like button. Yes, sir. Let's get it.
I had them stand up and I had them move seats. The new year. It's 2025. We'll do that in 2026. We'll do that in 2027 and beyond. I think it's just when you start a new year, do something different, you know, change something up. So it's something that's talked about, thought about, but there's a method to the madness at times.
Nick Harris.
Angie says, I love the mindset of building a real relationship with each person. I totally agree with you. But I'm going to tell you something else that this man is doing that is absolutely phenomenal. And let's listen to this comment again. I want to make sure I get this right.
In 2026, we'll do that.
Okay, I want you to think about this. Do y'all know how much sense? I'm just telling you. I could be wrong on this. But when I hear the method to my madness, let me tell you what this man did that is so phenomenal. Does anybody not understand how significant it is that Brian Schottenheimer moved Micah Parsons' locker right beside Dak Prescott's locker and CeeDee Lamb right beside Dak Prescott's locker? Do we not understand how significant this is? Not only are they looked at as the 3 leaders of the team, I think they're kind of calling them the triplets, the new triplets. But this is another disconnect. I told you before, it always seemed like the offense and the defense were not on the same page. And I'll question some of the things because I don't care. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand. Michael Parsons took some shots at Dak Prescott from time to time. It's not that he didn't defend Dak Prescott a lot of times too, but there were times that Michael was saying some things and you could tell, man, those were some digs at Dak Prescott. So Brian Schottenheimer does something genius. I don't know what relationship they have, But I can tell you this, their relationship is going to be better under Brian Schottenheimer. Their relationship is going to be better under Brian Schottenheimer. And it is powerful that you put those lockers together because you want Micah Parsons to understand. You want Dak Prescott to understand. Y'all are accountable to each other. You're accountable to each other on the field. You're accountable to each other off the field. What y'all say about each other matters. You put these type of people in the vicinity of one another. So that there is something that, what if there's something that has been said? They're right there. They're right there to where they can, hey, locker talk, bruh. Y'all right there. Hey, locker talk. Whatever you got to say, you can say it right here. Brian Schottenheimer's genius. I'm telling y'all, this man is genius. You got to get these guys on the same page. You have to. You have to get them on the same page. You have to get the leaders on your team on the same page. And putting them beside each other is absolutely genius. It's genius. I love what this man is doing. It's genius.
In 2027 and beyond, I think it's just when you start a new year, do something different, change something up. So it's something that's talked about, thought about, but there's a method to the madness at times.
Nick Harris, Full Star Telegram. I know you guys were obviously going after team captains and guys with maturity, like you were talking about. How have you already kind of seen that buy-in from them just on one-day walkthroughs?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You see a level of maturity. You see a level of professionalism. I talked a little bit about, the reviews, not installs. And I think, most of the questions that were asked in the meetings were the guys were on it. I mean, they had done their stuff. We haven't had any issues with guys being late, I think. But there's an intentionality about this group. Just yesterday, we did some stuff like drill work, walk through different things, and the ability of the defense to communicate and the coaching that was going on. It just like sometimes you're coaching a guy and he's young and he's kind of looking around and whatnot. Like to watch Donovan look into A-Dub, Coach White Cotton's eyes, it's like he's hanging on every word he says. And so I think that tells you that you have selected the right guys. Does that mean they're going to end up being great players? No. I mean, you got to develop them and their skill sets and things like that. But this group, from my interaction with them, has been very, very positive and impressive with the type of character and human beings they are.
And just based on what you guys have been able to do this weekend, Savon Ravel, what does his responsibilities look like? How different is it from the other rookies with his injury recovery?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's going to be a guy that's going to be limited. You won't see him out there running around today. He'll be doing some stuff with the training staff, but he's progressing great. The cool thing about some of the walkthroughs and stuff that we do is those guys can do that. We really don't have limitations on that. But again, there's so much that goes into it, just the film study, and we tape all of our installs. So like a couple of the guys have already started to watch the concept teach days that the vets had because they already have down the 2 installs really for what we're doing in this camp. And it's cool to see those guys. But, yeah, he's done a great job. He was doing all the individual stuff yesterday with DA, with the corners and all the walkthroughs, which is great.
Y'all tell me, can you send any bigger message than the Cowboys are sending to Trayvon Diggs? I mean, you're Trayvon Diggs. How are you looking at this thing with Savon Revel? I mean, you have to be thinking. There is no way this guy is not going to be a starter once he starts. There is no way this guy's not going to be a starter once he starts. And even if Trayvon Diggs starts when he comes back, Savon Revel is still going to be on the field starting. If you're Trayvon Diggs, man, you can't help but to probably think, this is why if I'm Trayvon Diggs, I will not hit the field for the Dallas Cowboys. If I'm Trayvon Diggs, I will not hit the field for the Cowboys until I'm 100% healthy. I will not do it. I would not risk coming back too early, getting hurt. I'm not going to let Revel Jr. rush me back because I'm going to have my body ready in case if the Cowboys cut me or if they trade me, I'm going to pass whoever's physical that I have to go through, and I'm playing. I'm going to play. If I have to, I'll play for another team. This is a very pivotal moment in the career of Trayvon Diggs. Because the Cowboys, I don't even think they're sending smoke signals. I think the Cowboys have a billboard up. Trayvon Diggs, this is your last season with the Cowboys. Siobhan Revel, I'm telling you. And this is not a Jalen Smith, I think his name was. This is not one of those issues. No, this dude had a clean tear. The repair went great. This dude, if you watched him, he's already running on a treadmill. He's not going to be slowed down by this. No, this guy is going to come out on the Cowboys, and he'll probably be a beast by midseason. I'm just telling you, this thing with Trayvon Diggs, man, it is crazy. Mo3 Ski, he says, Michael beside Dak. Iron sharpens iron. Lego. Appreciate that super chat. Mo3. This dude, Brian Schottenheimer, this dude is a mental genius, man. This dude is a mental genius. Straight up, like we say from the hood. Man, straight up, this dude is a mental juggernaut. There is nothing this guy does unintentionally. Nothing. Every detail. This guy, I'm telling you, man, this guy, every little detail, it matters to him. Man, if you can be faithful over a few things, I'm telling you, the big things come easy. Appreciate it. Quack Quack say G pays attention to the chat. Awesome stuff. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I do. Nisa said, I noticed the Schtty is also letting us know what Mike. Yep. Nisa, you noticing it too, ain't you? I've been saying this. This dude is telling us about Mike McCarthy. I said this when he first started talking. This dude is basically telling us all the problems with Mike McCarthy, everything that Mike McCarthy wasn't doing. This dude was taking notes. And he's applying solutions to what he saw wrong. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's also doing some of the things of his father, because his father was a player's coach. He was a player's coach, for sure.
Tommy Yarsh, DallasCowboys.com. What have you seen from some of the guys who came from college on your coaching staff, like Junior and Connor, in terms of going through this process for the first time? And how do you feel like some of the veteran guys are responding to their coaching styles?
Well, I mean, I would ask the players, number one, I would say it's been very positive. Of course, I do ask our players how it's going. And
yes, sir, Troy.
Checking in, see how, the relationships. Obviously, I'm a big relationship guy. I think if you talk to the receivers, they feel like they're getting very close to Junior. They're earning each other's trust and respect. The game of football and coaching, it doesn't change. It really doesn't. I mean, it doesn't. The personalities might, but the X's and O's and what your objective is in coaching, whether you're coaching high school, college, or NFL, it doesn't change. You have to be able to connect with the person you're coaching, one. You have to have the knowledge of the skill sets and know basically what the hell you're talking about, number two, because the players want to know, can this guy help me get better? And I don't think that's much different in college right now, to be honest with you, because of the NIL. It's like, can this guy help me get paid? And if not, I'm going to go to another chance to get paid. So, again, after you have the connection, you have to have the ability to, teach the skill set that they know you can help them get better. And then you have to have the personality that allows you to have the hard conversations. And if they're not doing something right, you have to demand that they do it that way. And so.
Appreciate everything you're saying, Troy Dudley. Yes, sir. I definitely try to connect with you guys. That's why I say y'all the best. Y'all the best chat on YouTube. I don't care what nobody say. I love it. Nisa said, get the ogre ready time for the service. Nah. But again, let me give you another clue to what this dude Brian Schottenheimer is doing that's so genius. How much more receptive are you to a coach that maybe coaches you hard when you know he cares about you versus a coach who's trying to coach you hard and he don't even know you? I mean, he don't even know you. He hasn't taken the time out to know if you got a wife or kids. To you, you're just somebody on the depth chart. That's who you are to him, not to Brian Schottenheimer. Brian Schottenheimer is dealing and Angie mentioned this thing about being in sync and she mentioned this thing about connections and all of this stuff. And some of you others are saying this. See, what Brian is doing is genius. Once you show people you care, and then when you tell them that ain't right, got to do it like this, they know you're doing it to make them better. They understand you're doing it so the team will be better. They know you're doing it because you care about winning and you want the championship. And so when they're talking, like if a guy you don't respect is talking to you about something and you think he doesn't respect you, your mindset is, oh man, you don't even care about me. You don't even care about nothing I'm doing. You don't care about the players on this team. It's all about you. And some players can't play for coaches like that. Schottenheimer is getting the family atmosphere. So that when he rides or when he tells somebody, get your butt in gear, they're not going to be offended. They're not going to be offended because they know what kind of man he is. They know what kind of coach he is. They know what his goals are. They know what he's trying to accomplish. They know he cares about them. So you know what they're going to do? They're going to get their butt in gear. That's all they're going to do. That's all they're going to do. They're going to get their butt in gear. And when you have a coach that coaches everyone like that, Jimmy used to do this kind of stuff. When you coach like this, people don't look around and go, wow, you see what he did to him? No, people be kind of like, yeah, man, that's how it is here. It's called accountability. Yeah, it's accountability. Hey, man, he's just trying to help him to get better. That's going to make us all better. People don't even blink at that stuff. When you create that atmosphere, people don't even blink. Nobody has an attitude, none. Everybody just be like, hey, man, this is what it is. You either going to do your thing here or you ain't going to do it here. This dude, I'm telling you, everything he's doing, it is so detailed. It is so detailed. It is mind-blowing when you get a person like this. Let me read this super chat and we're going to get back to Brian. Rico Dorsey, appreciate that super chat. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He said, I can't wait to get baby Vita Vea on the field. Yes, sir. Man, I'm telling you, I'm ready to start seeing some of this materialize on the field for sure. For sure. It's going to be good when we get it on the field.
In the case of Connor and Junior, I think they've both done a great job.
Yes, sir,
of
DP.
Earning the trust and respect, and but it doesn't just start there. I mean, just because Matt Eberflus has coached in the NFL for 20+ years, it doesn't mean that he doesn't have to connect with Deron Bland. I've been here for 4 years. I'm constantly going out of my way, bringing guys up to my office, going to dinners to get to know these guys.
There it is.
But I laugh with the guys today. You know, I told the rookies, I told the vets this last week. It's like my daughter's boyfriend. You know, I'll say somebody's name, he'll be like, oh, yeah, that's my guy. And I'll be like, it's not
there
your
it
guy.
is.
You don't even know him. You know, and it's like, Clarence probably says about some of you guys, oh, that's my guy. Yeah, Cal was my guy. I'm like, but you really don't know him. So, like, yeah, I know these guys. I know a lot of our players, but I don't know them as well as I need to know them to lead them and to be the head coach of this football team.
My sister, Sexy Suze, is in the building. What's going on, Sexy Suze? Sexy Suze, let me tell you something that you said right here. You said you'll give Schtty one thing. He talks a good game. The Bible tells us something powerful. Faith comes by hearing. And I always tell people that's a compound sentence. Faith comes by hearing. You have to hear it. You have to hear it. You have to hear it. Because if you keep hearing it, and you keep hearing it, and you keep hearing it, that's what makes people believe it. And, you think about, you said there's a reason why he was never offered a head coach job. Well, you kind of read his history. He turned down head coach job. Now, we could go back and get into the details of that, but he did have an opportunity. There was, I can't remember the team, but they were seriously considering him for a head coach, and he took his name out of the hat for the head coaching job. And again, you think about it, Sexy Suze, this league is very finicky to me. This league is very, very finicky. Because when you think about what Brian Schottenheimer did with Russell Wilson, he should have got a job then. Because I want us to think about it. What Brian Schottenheimer did with Russell Wilson for 3 years, and when you look at what Ben Johnson did over what, a 3-year span? Well, what did Ben Johnson really do? I mean, we know he's a phenomenal play caller. At least that's what we know, based on what he did with the Lions. And hey, let's understand something. Having the team that he had helped too. But when you think about Ben Johnson, in the reality of this whole story, what did Ben Johnson accomplish? He got the head coaching job, though. We don't know what he is in reality. We get a lot of these coaches, and they get on a team is hot, whatever the case may be, and they get these opportunities. Brian Schottenheimer, if you listen to everyone who talks about Brian Schottenheimer, you don't hear anybody saying a negative word. Sexy Suze, they all say the same thing. And really, if you listen to how they talk, everything that Brian Schottenheimer is doing, it really shouldn't be a surprise to any of us. Because they will tell you, no, this guy always made sure his side of the ball was always prepared. And you think about even with Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll was the one who put the governor, he put the governor on Brian Schottenheimer. Brian Schottenheimer made it clear it wasn't me who didn't let Russ cook. It was Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll don't mind playing those close, grimy games and winning them by 3.25 points. He doesn't mind that stuff. But again, Brian Schottenheimer, I'm not going to hold it against him because this league is very finicky. It is. This league is finicky. This league will give assistant coaches opportunities and they crash and burn. You think about how many assistant coaches that get promoted in this league. And again, Sexy Susan, like what you said. You said there's a reason. Well, you think about how many of these guys who become head coaches. And they don't win. They don't win. Sometimes these guys who get these head coaching jobs, think about what happens. They get a head coaching job because they're a part of a coaching tree. They get a head coaching job because, flavor of the month, he did this and he did this. But how many of them actually be successful? I think the 23 years, rather than it hurting him, I think it might have helped him. I wonder how many young coaches become head coaches and then they wind up getting fired within 3 years. Then they look back in 10 years and go, man, if I would have been a lot more mature and really understood players, understood how an organization functioned, and I really understood all that stuff, what I could do then with what I know now, I would have been a way better coach then. Brian Schottenheimer has the benefit of, he's at 23 years. I'm giving him credit for that experience. I really am. I'm going to give him credit for that experience. But I do understand your reservations on that. But I'm going to give him credit for that experience because for him to be a first-year head coach, the way he's operating is incredible. And it's not just the thing that he's saying. It's the things that they are doing, the things that he's doing, the way he's explaining these meticulous details of how he's keeping up with things in a way that they haven't done on this team in the past. Yeah, like I said, I understand exactly what you're saying, Sexy Suze. Yeah, you're tempering expectations. I'm going to be honest with you. The way this man is operating, He's not winning I'm not going to say he's not going to win a Super Bowl in his first season, 60 Sues, but that's no one. It's only been 2 coaches that have done that. And both of those coaches, they were on those teams for an extended period of time. And especially George Seifert, the team was loaded when he became the head coach. So Brian Schottenheimer, what we're watching a 4-year window. Rome wasn't built in a day. They're building it right now. This first season, this is just the ground level work. Next season, you're going to see the next level work. This is a process. The Super Bowl run, and I've already been saying this. Y'all been hearing me saying this for months now, probably thinking I'm crazy. But the Super Bowl run for the Cowboys is 2026 and 2027. They're going to make a ferocious run. I promise you they're going to make a ferocious run. They're going to get us excited this year. No, they're going to make a ferocious run. A ferocious run. If Dak Prescott stays healthy, they're going to make a ferocious run in 26 and 27. And I do believe they're going to get that chip. I do believe it. Unequivocally, I believe they're going to get that chip either in 26 or 27. And I'm praying the Super Bowl that I want to see with the way the Buffalo Bills are also loading up their team, I'm hoping that we get the Dallas Cowboys versus the Buffalo Bills over the next couple of years. But we'll see if I'm a prophet or not. Rico Dorsey said, I'm not sure if you know who I'm referring to, Baby Vita. Jay Toy. Oh, yes, sir. Jay Toy. I think it's Toya. Am I correct? I think I heard somebody yeah. I believe Jay Toya is going to be our answer to stopping the run over the next couple of seasons. It's going to take him a little time to get his feet wet, but this dude is going to be nasty for us. I do believe it. Quack, quack. He said, Troy, if we all agree, there will be no disagreements. Yes, sir. I feel you on that. All right, let's get back to Schtty, and then we're going to get to our next topic. Let's go. Appreciate you, Sexy Sues.
Joe Hoy, DLS Sports. Savon Rebels obviously been through a lot and persevered. When you guys are obviously looking for intangibles in players, just how much is that belief and mental toughness aspect kind of in the hierarchy of intangibles?
It's big because there's going to be tough times. There's going to be low moments in the season. There's going to be low moments in your career. There's going to be low moments outside of football with your family. And I think that's something we talk about. Maybe the fact that grit's tattooed on my hand has something to do with that. We look at that. But I think, just when you go through people's journeys, I know you guys will probably ask me about Tyler Neville. I mean, you think about, what he's had to overcome and do. I think that you aspire to be around people like that. I know I do, because they motivate me. They push me to be better. They push me to work a little harder. They push me to stay a little later. They push me to challenge the other guys around them a little bit better. And so it's part of the process. We're not going to have just high character people. I mean, we're going to have bad days. There's going to be guys that have bad days, and I'm going to have bad days, and the coaches are going to have to learn how to deal with me when I'm maybe having a bad day. And that's all part of, again, the connection piece. It's not all rah-rah, like, oh, everything's great. It's not that. It's how do you handle each other when you're having a bad day.
This man said, how do you handle one another? It's deep. This is the part that'll make a person run through a wall for you. I'm telling you what leaders do. Leaders don't tell you what to do. Leaders make you want to do what they want you to do. This man is talking about, how do we deal with adversity? We're going to deal with adversity, whether it be on the field or off the field. We're going to deal with that adversity together. We're going to have each other's back. Man, I'm telling you, if you just listen to the details, the psychological details that this guy is using, it's incredible. It is incredible. I'm telling you. Somebody just said it in the chat. Then I'm going to go to this super chat. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Quack Quack. But somebody said, man, he got me wanting to put on a pair of shoulder pads. Yeah, that's what these kind of people do. That's what they do. This is what they do. Man, I'm telling y'all, Sexy Suze, words are powerful. Words are powerful. And once you get a man thinking a certain way, so as a man thinketh, so as a woman thinketh, so as a person thinketh, so are they. Man, let me tell you, when people really know how to get your mental going, oh, you can surpass physical things that'll blow people's minds. Man, I'm telling you, this dude, the stuff that he's doing, it's incredible. It's incredible. We're gonna again, Sexy Suze, I understand, tempering your expectations. But again, everything with us, whether people realize it or not, it begins in the mind. Slavery begins in the mind. Freedom begins in the mind. Empowerment, teams, people think that stuff starts on the field. It starts in the mind. Winning starts in the mind. You think about what happened when Jimmy got here. The message that Jimmy started immediately speaking when he got in the building. We're going to win championships. Jimmy started talking that the moment he hit the door. We're going to win the Super Bowl. And everybody was looking at Jimmy like, oh, man, he ain't never been an NFL coach. It's not that easy to come in here and win the Super Bowl. No, Jimmy said, no, we're going to win the Super Bowl. And when you talk like that, you coach like that. And when you coach like that, your team thinks like that. Your team starts to play like that. And so this dude, I'm telling you, and the thing that I give the front office credit for, they're buying into what he's saying. And the moves they continue to make is telling us they believe what he's saying. They're going to try to help him in their own way. Now, let's understand, they're going to help them in the Jerry and Stephen Jones way. And we know they're going to, we know they're still going to pay their own. And we know they're still going to try to look for some bargain players. But some of the players in between, I think we've had some good pickups in between. Mo 3, he said, I can't lead someone I don't know. That's it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Smoke one for you. Good to see you, man. He says, G, what I say? Schtty going to have you loving him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This man is a psychological genius. I'm just telling you. This man is a psychological genius. He is. Nisi said, we will be crazy once the season starts, and when Agent Zero gets on the field, I'm going ballistic. Nisi, are you getting you a zero jersey? Are you getting a zero jersey? Lord willing, man, we get to the season. Maybe the week that he come back, maybe I'll buy some Agent Zero jerseys and give those away. How about that? I think that'd be absolutely awesome. Yeah, I can't wait till he get back on the field too. He is one of these, man. Yes, sir. Quick. All glory go to God. Yeah, Overshown is one of these dudes, man. Oh, Overshown, you just love everything about this dude. He's such a great guy on the field and off the field. But putting him with a guy like Schtty, oh man, I'm telling you, this dude is. I love everything he's doing. He's going to bring this team together in ways that they were not together over those last 3 seasons when they won 12 games, which had they been together and had the front office been on the same page, they might would have made some more moves and we probably would have won we probably would have went a little deeper in those playoffs than we did.
He's of The Athletic, Brian. Going back to about your first year and things like that. In 1984, your dad he went from defensive coordinator to head coach with the same organization as well. I know you were just 11 years old at the time, but
I feel you what you say, but money make people who they are.
He handled being in the building, being elevated, and maybe even if you had any conversations about that later in life.
I actually do. I know the story probably, and it's a great story, so I will share it with you guys. 84, he was the defense coordinator. The team starts 1-7, and they ended up, Art Modell made the decision to fire Sam Rutigliano Tuesday night or Monday night. I'm not sure about that. My dad gets called to Art Modell's house alongside Ernie Accorsi, and he sits down in front of Mr. Modell and Ernie, and Art says, "Hey, Marty, we've obviously moved on from Sam Ratigliano. I'd love to, offer you, to be the interim head coach of the Cleveland Browns." And my dad kind of goes, "Well, thank you, Art. I'm honored. I appreciate it, but I have to respectfully decline." And Art's like, "Come again?" He's like, "Yeah, I have to decline, but thank you." He goes, "Why?" He goes, "Because if I'm the interim head coach, then these players will not respect me enough to where they're going to follow me and my lead and what I want to build." And so I just thought it was really crazy that he had the conviction to say to this gentleman, "Nope, I'm not going to do it." So the story goes, Art was kind of taken aback. And he looks at Ernie, and Ernie looks at him, and they're like, he goes, "Marty, you step out for a second?" So he goes, "Yeah, sure." So Art looks at Ernie Accorsi, who's a dear friend of my father's, now, and he says, "Can you believe this guy?" He goes, "I actually can, and I don't think he's bluffing." So Art calls my dad back in the office, and he says, "All right, Coach." He goes, "I want to offer you a 2-year contract to be the head coach at Cleveland Browns." And my dad said, "Thank you very much. I'll take it."
Yes, sir.
There you go. That's the history of it. So, again, I think, you just have to be convicted about what's important to you. And I think at the end of the day, my dad was right. These interim
Gary Bookwalter, I agree with you. He said hit that like button. Yes, sir.
titles. I mean, how many of these head coaches, and this is 1984, halfway through the 84 season, how many of these interim tags end up sticking? Because usually when you're in the interim tag, the players know it, and the ownership is usually looking for another coach halfway through the season. And they obviously, that was 84, and then 86, 2 years later, they're in the AFC Championship game.
Say quick.
Patrick. It's Patrick Walker, DallasCowboys.com. Obviously, throughout your time in the league, you've been
straight up
responsible more or less for the micro, depending on what position you're tasked with. As the head coach, now you're responsible for the macro and the micro. In that vein, as rookies report, there are obviously veterans in the building as well. What are you seeing from some of your veterans, be it Tyler Smith, Mike Parsons, whomever the case, that are helping these rookies kind of acclimate, and how does it go to the culture of what you build?
See, he's about to answer the question that you're commenting on, Angie. And y'all a little bit behind me where I am, but what you're commenting on, I'm gonna move a little further up after this. But Angie, like you're saying, I like what they're doing. And Jerry said this during when they got Tyler Booker. And it didn't hit me what Jerry was saying. But I really get it after thinking on it, is you want leaders. And this is true on any team. This is one of the reasons why you have team leads, team leaders, and things of that nature. Because you want them to be the ones holding the team accountable. You want them holding your team accountable. You do. You do. You want your team to be accountable to each other, because that makes the coach's job a lot easier, because now you're saying we're all bought in. We're all bought in. We're all supporting this. We're all on board with this. That way you don't get a lot of people who doing a lot of whispering in corners and backbiting, which I do believe some of that stuff has been going on this team for the last few years. You eliminate a lot of that stuff. So what he's doing, again, I'm telling you, man, he's a psychological juggernaut in how he's really helping them psychologically to be a family and a team and understanding what all of that means. So there is definitely method. I mean, when he says there's a method to his madness, man, yeah, he's laying it down really, really well. And I also like the fact he brought up the tight end Neville. And I noticed this other thing about them. Schtty has a story. If y'all haven't noticed, Schottenheimer has a story. It's Marty Schottenheimer's son. Sexy Suze has even brought it up. I mean, not only that, he's, this is his first time being a head coach. He's been an assistant for 23 years. He's got a story. And if you listen and pay attention to his story is someone who has kind of clawed his way up. You know, he's earned it in a sense. He's fought his way up. He feels like he's earned it. And now he has he has a goal of who he wants to win it for. And you think about players on this team, Dak Prescott, he's got a story. You know, and you want to use those stories for motivation. And if you think about the players, some of the players they've drafted, I mean, I think Savon Revel Jr. has one of the most incredible stories. Working at Amazon overnight, does a tryout. People see the tape, see him play, trying to get him to get into the transfer portal. Everybody already know about the NIL money. He turns it down. Stays at East Carolina because they gave him a shot. Neville, he overcomes being born deaf. He overcomes cancer. And you start talking about people in a sense who are overcomers. These are people that if you can channel that type of energy, man, boy, you can really build off of stuff like that. And so these are the things that Schottenheimer is talking about. I'm like, this dude is really paying attention. You know, he likes to show people, and I notice what he's doing. He likes to show people that not only is he football smart, but even more so, he's a people lover. That's what he keeps showing people. I'm a people lover. Because you notice he said being a high character player isn't enough. Because that was one of the questions I had a couple of days ago. Because I was like, are we overemphasizing character? So he comes back and says, not like he's been listening to me, but he comes back and says, character isn't the only thing. We want winners too. So he's just, it's like he understands what he's doing psychologically, and he's really trying to get into the mind, the team, the front office, the media, everybody. Because believe me, this Dallas media, a lot of them, they're waiting. They're waiting on 0 and 4. They're waiting so they can start talking about he wasn't this and wasn't that, and maybe the Cowboys made a mistake. This man's going to try to not only just make a liar out of everybody, but this man's going to really show people that I am what I am.
Yeah, I think it's critical, and thank you for asking. I think, we talk to our group, both vets and rookies, about being intentional, I don't do the big introductions, so like, okay, everybody get up and coaches stand up, and the reason I don't do that is because I want guys to be intentional. When we broke the first meeting with the rookies, I asked them to basically just spend 5 to 10 minutes mingling and walking up to people that you don't know and saying hello and introduce yourself. And so it was really cool for me, Michael, because I was kind of sitting down at the bottom of the team room watching the interactions go on with the different position coaches, talking to players, and coming down to talk to, Scott with nutrition and Claire and everybody like that. But if you say you're a family, and if you say that that's the culture that you want to build, one that's about being family first and first class and joyful, then what your expectation is that your veterans reach out and will assist these young players. Dak reaching out to Tyler Booker the night of the draft is one example.
There it is.
Someone was leaving yesterday. I think it was Jalen Tolbert. He stopped and said hello to 3 or 4 of the guys. Luke Schoonmaker was here yesterday getting some extra work. He stopped and talked to a couple guys he had competed against. Like,
there it is.
It's real. It's tangible. You feel it. And
there it is.
If you didn't feel it, then I would be upset and I would address it. But it's really important. And most of these guys, they look back and they remember what it was like to be a rookie and who looked after them. Like, the coolest things for me two retirement press conferences of both Tyron and Zach, we're hearing them talk about the relationships and who impacted them. It's not always a veteran guy to a young guy, but, like, that's what matters. Like, not one of those guys quoted, hey, in 2014 we were 11-5, and they didn't. What did they talk about? The guys that they appreciated, and the coaches, and Jerry and Steven, and the organization, because that's what matters. And I think, in a business like ours where, hey, I'm going to be judged. We're going to be judged on wins and losses. And that's part of the deal. And believe me, no one wants to win more than me. No one wants to win a Super Bowl more than me. But at the end of the day, I'd not be doing my job if I didn't make sure that both young and old player alike weren't investing in one another.
Whoo! Smoke one for you. You got me. You got me. Smoke one for you. Said, don't cry, G. It's a deep interview. Facts. Boy, you are not lying. Smoke one for you. Boy, I should have listened to this thing before I came on the air, man, so I could kind of get myself down, man. Boy, I'm telling you, smoke one for you. Man, this a deep interview, man. I'm one of these type of people, man. Oof. Boy, family and stuff like this, man. This is important to me. Man, smoke one for you, boy. You got me. Yes, sir. You got to be careful, man. Don't cry on this interview, boy. This is deep. It's deep. What this man is talking about is deep. It is. I mean, maybe I know it don't move everybody, but boy. A lot of stuff he's saying, shoot, boy, it's moving me. It's moving me. You know what, smoke one for you? Boy, this reminded me of his father, boy. Marty Schottenheimer, man. Marty Schottenheimer lose one of them games, smoke one for you. Boy, that man get that post game, man. That man talking that locker room. Boy, Marty be crying, boy. Marty be crying. I bet you people crying with him, too. I bet you people crying for him. Boy. Man, this dude is talking. He talking. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Gregory. Gregory said he says when you go in the NFL with a legendary father and other legends, then you learn of the legends while working your way up through the ranks. Yeah. Yeah, he got a story. He does, man. He got a story. And he uses that story. He uses it. Boy, George, I'm ready. I'm ready, man. Yes, sir. John L. Hill, Dak knows how special this team is. That's why he's cutting down and getting more chisel. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I believe you, man. It's facts. Troy Dudley, he says, man, zero plays ball like every play matter. Boy, it's the only way. Troy, I'm telling you, man. This dude's a true leader, man. He is. He said, there's a lot of watchers in here. Quack, quack. He said, hit that like button. Yes, sir. My man Mike Smooth, he said, man, I had to take my chest pie to the oven. He said, what I missed? Yeah, we talking about this man Marty. I mean, talking about this man Brian, boy. Man. Angie, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Man, this dude here, man. Whew. Yes, sir. Georgie Jordan, he says Brian Schottenheimer more of a run scheme coach. Yeah, he's a run guy. He I believe he takes some from his father. He believes he's gonna have to run. CB, it's not true. We're gonna see something different. All right. Let's hear his last part, and then we're gonna move on to our next subject matter.
In meeting with these guys one-on-one, the undrafted guys, how different is the message to them? Obviously, they have a much different role than a Tyler Booker or Donovan Ezra coming in.
Yeah, to me, I don't look at it that way, Nick, to be honest with you. The path might be a little easier for a Tyler Booker because you think, okay, first-round draft pick.
What's
he's
System Miss
definitely
Matrix?
starting,
What's going on?
Whatever. I don't look at it that way because what's the mantra? Compete every day. So whether you're Tyler Neville, you're Zion Childress, you're Elijah Clark, whoever you are, I'm telling them don't get caught up in where you start on the depth chart. Get caught up on, did you win today? Did you have a competitive day? Were you the best version of yourself today? And if you did that and you continue to stack days like that, then guess what's going to happen? You're going to get noticed by your position coach. Then you're getting noticed by your coordinator. Then you're getting noticed by myself and Will McClay and the other guys. And most importantly, when you're doing that consistently, who you going to get noticed by? Your teammates. And when you get noticed by your teammates like that, then guess what? That's when you know you've kind of broken through.
Yeah, Josh,
My man, the dude.
is that a guy you expect to have back?
Yeah, he's doing great. Again,
My man, the dude, he said the store costs $1.5 billion to build. He said, yeah, they bought $5 microphones off Temu. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
The specifics of it are he could potentially be on PUP. It's really early still right now, but he's doing great in his rehab. He's here every day. He was one of the first ones here, one of the last ones to leave.
You got 1 minute. Try
Back to Clarence already?
Oh, yes.
By the way, can I get an invite to the podcast or no? I mean, just, yeah. All right, yeah.
You heard that. You heard that.
Sorry, Tad. Sorry, Tad. Hey, after everything slows down,
Ring the bell, Ted. Okay.
This is good.
Yeah, hey, that's right. I'm burning up his minute. Yeah, I got 30 seconds.
The importance of putting Michael by Dak. Can you just talk about that? You said there was
Yeah.
a decision. And
Yeah.
what have you seen from Dak in his rehab?
Yeah, first one's easy. Two of our best players. Put them
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
There's also other things we're doing in there where guys are competing every day and different things that we've kind of put in there.
Yeah.
But just they can challenge each other in a good way.
Yeah.
And then you asked about Dak's rehab. Yeah, it's going well. He's doing great, and just it's good to see him out there moving around a little bit on the grass. Good deal. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Uh-oh. Quack, quack. Quack, quack said, I be up. I be up. I see Quack, quack. Y'all see that dude video been going viral all over the place? The dude with the Martin stuff. Yes, sir. That's the first thing that came to my mind, Quack, quack, when I saw you say, hype me up. Yes, sir. That man spoke one for you. He said, oh, yeah, I was saying the same thing, bro, because that team really wanted to go run through doors for him and the whole staff. Facts. He's just refreshing to hear him talk. Man, yes, sir. Hey, Doc, what's going on? I'm cursing at your players more than Marty Schottenheimer. Yes, sir. But again, man, hey, let me tell you, this dude right here, man, I feel like Brian is, I really do feel like Brian is the real deal, man. I do. I feel like Brian is the real deal. And we're going to see, Sexy Suze, we're going to see when the rubber meets the road, as one of my old teachers used to say. We're going to see what happens when the rubber meets the road. But so far, as that rubber is hitting the road, as we are watching the practices, or it's the first practice, but as we are watching and seeing how he's putting together everything, it looks good. It looks real good. We just gotta keep progressing until we get to the what's the name? Mitch Roman, he said, I'm a 3X. He said, what's going? He said, all right, Mr. G, yes, sir. Yeah, when that we gonna do them zero. If you're talking about them jerseys, we're gonna do some zero jerseys giveaway when that man hit the field. I think he's gonna I've been seeing some of his rehab stuff, man, and some of the stuff he's doing is looking pretty good. So let's move over to our next topic as we continue to talk between this and the chat. Let's move over to the fan, and I thought they had a very interesting topic. I haven't listened to it, but I thought the topic was very interesting. It says Broaddus and Dawson go back and forth on if the draft helped Dak Prescott. So I want to get in on this discussion and hear what they're talking about, and see if we can lend our 2 cents to this and see what they're talking. See if we can make some sense of it too. But let's get into this next one. Check out Brian Broaddus in 105.3 The Fan going back and forth about, did this draft help out Dak Prescott? See it.
Winners and losers. Does anybody pop in your mind, Brian, before I get going here with the athletics list? It's Saad Youssef.
Yeah, just, I can only look at my board, and how I had guys ranked. I'll give Dallas some credit for the first 3 because off my board, the first 3 were my top 37 players.
Okay, but this one's looking at people that were already on the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And after this draft,
Yo.
it reflects well or maybe it spells doom for him. Like if you're Hunter Lipke right now, are you a loser right now because they added 2 running backs?
I'm sorry. No. Oh, okay. I see what this is all about then. No. You know what? I'm interested now what's going to happen on the edge then. With the situation with I kind of feel like that you look at with some of the additions that they made with Turner and now Ezraku and all. What does that mean for Sam Williams on this thing? What does this mean for that? If in fact that he doesn't come into camp in great shape and ready to go and all that. I mean, I think that he's a guy that's lost some sponsors. That they've gone on to other teams and stuff. Guys that liked him. Dan Quinn really liked him a lot.
Yeah,
they thought about drafting him. They got him in the second round, and they thought really highly of this guy. But he really hasn't done very much. So you just wonder with the number of defensive ends that they have, could he be an odd man out with some guys they might want to keep?
He is one of the players.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, that Saad Youssef pointed out here because of.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you about who won the draft and kind of a thing.
I mean,
But,
you have his injury, you have head scratching mistakes, you have off the field maturity concerns with
Yeah.
Sam Williams. Like, I think it just further narrows the margin for error that he has. He's got to have a big season, otherwise he'll probably be looking to pick up his career somewhere else.
I agree.
Sam better turn it on or
So
else.
he's one of the players. I think the other players are probably the veteran guards.
Yeah, I think that when you start,
Guys, let's think about this. They just brought up Sam Williams. So the Cowboys got Dante Fowler. They got Donovan Ezeraku. Where's Sam Williams going to get his reps? I think they have the guy Pat Turner. Where's Sam Williams going to get his reps? Donovan Ezeraku is going to play. Dante Fowler is going to be the starter. Ezeraku will be in some type of rotation. Where is Sam Williams going to play? I do believe that the Cowboys need to be looking at some of these types of players. And they really need to be thinking like Jimmy Johnson. Sam Williams could probably get you like what? 4th round draft pick right now, maybe? 4th or 5th? Maybe he looks pretty good in the preseason, or as the season goes on, maybe he can get you a 3rd. I mean, the Cowboys got some decisions to make. Sam Williams is a very good player. I mean, at least I believe he's a good player. I mean, we hadn't seen him on the field. I mean, I had literally forgot about Sam Williams. I totally forgot about Sam Williams. So, again, I'm just wondering where is he going to get his play on the field. So, when you're talking about winners and losers in this draft on the Cowboys team, Sam Williams is one of them losers. For sure. He's one of them losers.
to talk about these offensive linemen, with some of the guys. I mean, they add Robert Jones and Sadiq Charles and guys like that. And now do you wonder, okay, well, what's going to happen? What's going to happen with the Matt Willetskos?
TJ Bass, Brock
TJ Bass, Hoffman. Yeah, those guys are clearly in the crosshairs right now of maybe losing spots.
Amongst your winners on this Cowboys team following.
Let me tell you something about Brock Hoffman. Brock Hoffman is a dog. I am glad Brock Hoffman is on this team. I'm glad Brock Hoffman is on this team because he's going to compete. Tyler Booker will be better because of Brock Hoffman. What do I mean by that? Because Brock Hoffman's going to compete. He's not beating out Tyler Booker for, multiple reasons. But Brock Hoffman is going to challenge to be one of the starters on this line. He's one of the greatest pickups they had this season. And Brock Hoffman needs to stay on this team the entire season. Because last year, and it seems to never fail, we get one guy hurt and everything falls apart. Brock Hoffman being on this team, no. Brock Hoffman, I'm not worried. Brock Hoffman is going to be incredible on this team. I believe he's going to be incredible in camp, and I believe he is really going to help this team, and we definitely need to keep him for the depth. So I don't consider him a loser. And one of the reasons why I don't consider him a loser in this draft is because even though they got a right guard, Brock Hoffman is going to get paid in this league. Y'all watch what I tell you. The Cowboys decide to part ways with Brock Hoffman in free agency next year, he's going to get paid. He's going to get paid. I won't be surprised if a team, even during the year, could even come and try to knock on the Cowboys' door and see if they can get Brock Hoffman. Brock Hoffman is a dog. I'm telling you. I'm glad he's on this team. Even though I don't think I don't just, like I said, I don't know if he's going to be able to beat Booker out. But he can play so many multiple positions. You want to have him on your squad for depth, just in case. You do. He's going to compete. He's going to make the team better. Yes, sir. What's going on, Sean Brown? Good to see you. Yeah, he definitely going to make the team better. Dana Jett, he said, me too, only I don't like Sam Williams. Sam Williams, I don't know what he's going to do. I agree with Angie. Hit that like button. I don't know what Sam Williams going to do. Nisi, you hit it right on the head. They can't be afraid to move on from a player. And this is why I'm saying, Sam Williams, man, get something for him. Get something for him. Let's showcase him. Hey, man, let this dude play let him play in the preseason. Let's see what he is. And if he go out there and ball out, let's use him some. And then if there's a team that want to offer some money for him, hey, let's get a draft pick for him. Let's do it. Oh, man, yes, sir. We rush them forward one at a time with attacking linebackers that can cover as well. We'll have Parsons, Toia, Mozzie, Easy, then Fowler, Osa, Toia, Williams, rotate. Man, we about to be tough and good and fast. Yes, sir. I was saying the same thing. When you look at the players they have on the depth chart, their rotation should be sick. They should be able to have run game, short yardage run game, passing game. I mean, long passing game. I mean, goal line. I mean, what, man, the Cowboys got so much depth right now on that defensive front, boy, and the offensive front. That we're going to be fine, and this is what they definitely need to continue and try to aspire for. Let me read this super chat, then we're going to go back to this. Let's see what they're talking about. Appreciate you, Mitch Roman. $5 super chat. Mitch, yes, sir. The draft was great, and we already have our wide receiver too. Mingo, Dax will make him a wide receiver too. Woo! Mitch Roman, let me give you one of these. Yes, sir. There are a lot of people who argue, but I said it. I released a video the other day when I talked about the Cowboys' options. I mean, a lot of people don't understand. The Cowboys can stand pat and still be fine, still be competitive. Because I do believe, and we're going to circle the block on Jaden Blue, I think people are underestimating Jaden Blue. Jaden Blue is going to not only be a part of the run game, he's going to be a part of the passing game. So you're talking about an additional weapon. But again, I'm saying all of that, but I'm going to wait and see because I do think the Cowboys are going to go out there and get a wide receiver too.
In the draft, Jake Ferguson, they did not go out and acquire any more competition for him. So the biggest threat to his job as the starter is emergence of the 2023 second rounder, Luke Schoonmaker.
Yes, sir.
Who did have a couple of nice games last year.
He did. And once Ferguson went down, there was some opportunities that he had to make plays, and he was able to do that. I think his blocking got better. We'll see what happens. I mean, this is another year, another opportunity for John Stevens. They really, really like John Stevens a lot, but he just cannot stay healthy. And, you know, if this is another training camp where something does happen to him, then, you know, I think that Ferguson is probably pretty safe, and so would be.
I think Ferguson is going to get pushed. Schoonmaker came home good at the end of the season. They got the Neville kid. I think they got another undrafted free agent. We're going to look at those undrafted free agents next week. I'm going to try to get some more background information on all of them so we can kind of have a little mini documentary on each one of them. But the undrafted free agents, man, they're going to still get some they're going to get some competition. And the Cowboys, they just seem to keep adding them like every 2 to 3 days. So they may bring in, who knows who else they're going to bring in as an undrafted free agent. But Ferguson, man, I would be very careful if I was Ferguson. I would be very careful if I was Ferguson. Ferguson better have a camp out of this world, and he better have a preseason and a season out of this world, because I'm telling you, Schoonmaker is coming. Schoonmaker, to me, while we're hoping that Ferguson is a Kelsey-type wide receiver, we're hoping that he's explosive, not wide receiver. We're hoping Ferguson is an explosive tight end after the mold of Kelsey. But don't sleep on Schoonmaker, because Schoonmaker is actually in the ilk of the type of tight ends that we've actually had in the past. Schoonmaker is probably closer to Jason Witten. And if Schoonmaker can be that dependable tight end he's going to get open, he's going to get you those 15, he's going to get you those 12, he's going to get you those 10, he can block. If he's going to be that type of guy, he'll beat Ferguson. He'll beat Ferguson. He will. Ferguson better stay healthy. That's number one. Number two, Ferguson needs to be the explosive tight end that everybody said he was going to be a couple of seasons ago. Because, the rope is getting shorter. Ferguson got to put up a shut-up this year. He does. He has to put up a shut-up. And they got some people. They're going to have some people in camp. You know, they're saying he's not going to have any competition. Man, I wouldn't be so quick to think like that. I wouldn't.
Be Schoonmaker.
That tight end room fairly interesting. I think you have a number of guys who
Yes, sir,
you know,
Hill.
could develop into something. And right now, I think you need a guy who can really help the run game, right? And I don't know which one of them that is.
They need Jake Ferguson to get back to Jake. And we talked about
There it
this,
is.
I believe this morning, Eric, then we had a little bit on the Love of the Star.
Yes, sir.
About Jake Ferguson. And you know, you don't have, you know, they're hunting maybe a second wide receiver, but you know, could you get around not having a second wide receiver if you had Ferguson playing better? You use Blue in the way you use him or going to use him, and then maybe even with Turpin. You know, do you kind of?
Didn't I say this the other day? I said this the other day. The Cowboys have Turpin. They got Jaden Blue. You're talking about speed on top of speed. You can get by without the wide receiver too. Y'all don't get mad. I'm not saying we should get by. I'm saying we can get by. And Broaddus is bringing up a very powerful point. Well, if Ferguson would start dominating the seam again, if Ferguson can get back on his game and be the explosive tight end that Travis Kelce said he was going to be, he's also another one that if he can get open, that also alleviates pressure off of CeeDee Lamb. So the Cowboys can go without that wide receiver too. We don't want them to go without. We don't want them to. We know we don't want them to. So let's be clear what I'm saying. We don't want them to. But let's not lose heart if the Cowboys can't quite get what they want. Because again, I don't think they should be bringing in placeholders. But if they want to, they can. I really do think the Cowboys should go out there and trade and get somebody like a Jameis Williams, you know, a Jameis Williams and Alec Pierce, you know, fill in the blank. There are other, I mean, the Green Bay Packers. There are teams out there that we're going to be probably looking at when we get to June 1st. There are going to be more teams either talking about trades or cutting some of these players, you know, trimming some of the fat because of some of these contracts. And so when June 1st comes, the Cowboys will have more options. But if they don't, then we need Ferguson. And hey, I'm the way Schoonmaker came on at the end of the last season, I'm good. If he'll do it, if he can continue to do it, I'm good.
How do you get you could get the catches for a lot of different guys if you don't have that second guy, if they in fact went that way. But they need Jake Ferguson to get back to where he was, you know, pre-concussion,
Absolutely.
pre-knee.
Yeah.
That was a real weapon right there.
They do.
He was, you know, and when he's playing like that, yes, I do believe you don't need a second wide receiver if you're thinking 24 or 25 points. If you want to go back into 30 range, you're going to need one of the better wide receivers.
They know they need a wide receiver. Folks, please don't get me wrong there. But if in fact it turns into, okay, they couldn't get one through trade, they couldn't get one through free agency, they couldn't get one after June 1 cuts.
There it is.
If they go into it, then it's going to be about now. We're going to have to make up with that. You have Tolbert and others, but it's going to have to be about Blue and Ferguson and those guys.
Yeah.
Okay, other winners here for the Cowboys following the draft. Dak Prescott, says the Athletic Saad Youssef, because as he's turning 32 in July, they add another round 1 offensive lineman. You also add Jaden Blue, who's a Tony Pollard-esque elusive back with receiving skills.
Better player. I think better player.
Say it, Brian Broaddus. I don't know what some people talking about. I don't know what some people are talking about. No, there is not a running back on this team right now that is more explosive than Jaden Blue. There is not a running back on this team. Phil Hoffa, don't get me wrong. Phil Hoffa gonna turn some heads too. He's explosive, but he's powerful. He's more powerful, of course, explosive. But he's that one step, boom, he hit you explosive. Stiff arm, knock you down, boom, he might even roll you over. Just bowl over you. And he does got the football speed to take it to the crib, depending upon who's back there. There is not a running back on this team that is explosive as Jaden Blue. No. This dude has sub 4.3 40 speed. And it's not just speed. He's got football speed. He doesn't have just football speed. This dude can stop on a dime and accelerate like a Lamborghini. He can hit the 6th gear so quick. He is the definition of exactly what I was saying that Rico couldn't do. He is a hit his head on the goalpost, knock the camera off. That is Jaden Blue. That is Jaden Blue. Yeah, man. People, I'm telling us. I know people don't. I don't know what people are thinking. This dude, Jaden Blue, if used right, Jaden Blue is going to be a monster for this team. And to say, when we start talking about the running back that we had here, Tony Pollard ain't this. Nah, man. Tony Pollard ain't this. He is not Jaden Blue. He may be in that same type of role. Jaden Blue and Tony Pollard? Nah, man. Nah, they universes apart. Tony Pollard, he don't have that speed. He don't have that speed. He don't have that quickness. He don't have those moves. Tony Pollard is not in the same conversation. And there is no running back on this team. They're not in the conversation. No, they're not in the conversation. I wouldn't even open my ears to someone who would dare tell me that. Nah, he not in the conversation. This dude, Jaden Blue, you watch what I tell you. Jaden Blue is different. Jaden Blue is different. You get this dude to the edges, you create a hole for him, or if you get him in space, now you're going to see something you didn't see with Tolbert. Now, this dude going to run off on folk in the NFL. He going to run off on folk. You watch what I tell you.
Yeah. Man, that'd be awesome. If he is a better pro than Tony Pollard,
he
are in great shape. I think you might have already found your running back there in the 5th round. That'd be a heck of a job team building. I don't know if Dak's a winner here. I not yet. I got to see that Blue's great, and I got to see that the offensive line is taking steps in the right direction with Beanie and Guyton.
Yeah, but they're taking steps the right direction because they drafted a guard, which you asked them to do. You asked them to get Dak help.
Yeah.
And they got him help. They didn't get him. They might have got him skill help. I'll give you that one.
They tried to get him help. I don't know if they have yet.
I think to me that when you look at, I think Blue is definitely going to help.
Brian Broaddus, tell these people, man. I don't think people understand what this dude Jaden Blue is, man. It is not every day you get a sub 430 guy. Does Jaden Blue have some things to work on? Yes, he does. But let me tell you something. He can easily be as good as Travion Henderson. He can be. I'm not saying he is, but he can be. Because speed kills. Speed kills. It kills. You put that speed behind the right line, this dude is going to be a touchdown. He is going to be a yards after the catch monster. Speed kills. Tell him, Brian Broaddus, and I'm gonna push back on Dawson. I'm gonna push back on, did Dak Prescott win in this draft? I'm gonna tell you how he won in this draft, and y'all tell me in the chat, how do you think Dak Prescott won in this draft? Because I'm gonna tell you how I believe that Dak Prescott won in this draft. Y'all tell me what y'all think as we continue to listen to this. And let's see if y'all are thinking like I'm thinking.
I think Tyler Booker is a huge upgrade for them at right guard. When you start to talk about Hoffman and Bass, we didn't want those guys playing 17 games.
Yes, Andrew.
To me, and I think we need to be more consistent about that. You said get him help with the offensive line. I think they did. I think you'd have to say that he won on this one.
Well, this is the difference between you being a scout and me being a radio guy. I need to show up to Oxnard and see this Booker guy playing well. I need to see preseason games of him playing well because busts at 12 happen all the time.
Well, but my point is you asked them to get an offensive lineman, and they got an offensive lineman.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they tried. They tried. And we'll see if it worked.
What? Y'all excuse me. Dawson done got... So you're saying we're going to see it. Hey, man, he right in this respect. Yeah, we're going to see. I don't think there's no way Tyler Booker isn't successful. I just don't think there's any way. I don't see him struggling the way Guyton struggled at left tackle. No, this is Booker's position. He's a big guy. He's a technician. He's got good feet. He's very teachable. He's coachable. He played at Alabama. They are an NFL level machine when it comes to linemen. What is he talking about? Getting Dak Prescott, Tyler Booker, it is a good thing. It is a very good thing. Hey, would we have loved Ted McMillan? Yes, we would have. But I believe Tyler Booker is going to pay off in spades. I do. I think he's going to pay off in spades. And lost in translation, I agree with you on Neville too. If Ferguson walk in this doggone thing thinking he got this thing sewed up, he'll be on the bench quick. He'll be on the bench so fast it'll make his head spin. No, the Cowboys bought some competition in on him too. There it is. Azteca saying the same thing. He said, don't sleep on undrafted free agent tight ends. We signed, yes, sir. Neville and Fairweather. Yeah, they've been talking about these guys for sure. They will most likely push out John Stevens Jr. and Princeton Fant. I agree. Absolutely agree. For sure. John L. Hill, yes, sir. We need the old Ferg back. We need the Ferg who Travis Kelce said he's the next Travis Kelce. Well, that's what we need. Because if not, Schoonmaker, who's closer to Jason Witten, Ferguson is supposed to be Kelce. Well, Schoonmaker is kind of like Witten. Schoonmaker really came on last year. Better be careful. Lil D, what's going on? He said, I think Flournoy would be good. Yes, sir. I said the same thing. He reminds me of Dez some too. I do. The Cowboys really need to get him busy. Really need to get him busy. Smoke one for you. He said, Neville's a strong blocker. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ferg better not come up in there half-stepping. Ferg better not come up in there half-stepping. I'm telling you. Johnny Hill, he said, I'm good with a Cooper Union at the D. We're going to see how it turns out. But I don't think they want him. And I don't think he wants to be here either. We're going to see. Mitch Roman, he said Tyler Neville pretty good. Yes, sir. My man in the 70s fan in the crib, what's going on? He said, don't underestimate Sam Williams. Oh, no, I'm not underestimating him. But he better play his butt off. And I'm kind of wondering, like, where's he going to be in the rotation? Sam Williams has already said he's coming to prove something. I like that. He said he's coming to prove something. Hey, so prove it. Prove it then. Let's see what you do. Prove it. My man Wild Boy Trey in the crib. He said Blue, Javante, and Maffa. Y'all better not sleep. I'm telling you. And I think more so Blue and Maffa. I think they're going to be the future Thunder and Lightning. I do. Yes, sir. That boy Blue ran a 4.28, and he got football speed. He got football speed. He's not just running that in the combines. Stu got football speed. You see it on the tape. Pete, he said salute to the chat. Yes, sir. Best chat on YouTube. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. All right, let's listen a little bit more and see what he says. But y'all tell me in the chat. Let's see if we're on the same page. Y'all tell me, how did Dak Prescott win in this draft? Y'all tell me, or tell me he didn't win in the draft, because that's what kind of Dawson is kind of pushing back on.
You're killing him for drafting offensive line.
I'm not killing him.
It sounds like you're saying
it's incomplete.
You sound like you have questions about, and sure, I mean, there's been times where we've been throughout this, and you're like, damn, Wolchuk, I like what you're saying about Booker. Damn, Broaddus, I like what you're saying about Booker. Yeah. You know, I mean, to me, it just seems a little off that they could have drafted something else, and you'd been like, well, hell, they didn't get Dak help with an offensive lineman. But they did get him help. I get it. We have to see how he plays.
Are they better today with Booker than they were 12 months ago with Zach Martin at right guard?
Well, Zach Martin was older and banged up. Yeah.
Yeah, Angie, that is a part. If you kind of look at the scouting report, that is one of the issues of Blue. Blue seems to go down barely getting touched. He doesn't have the balance. He doesn't have the kind of balance that a Phil Maffa have. But, no, that's not your opinion. That's fact. He falls a little too easy. Arm tackles, and you think about it, Angie, he's 196 pounds. I mean, that's not necessarily light, but maybe it's more of a balance issue. But he does, some of them arm tackles, yeah, he does go down. But, Angie, the blessing and the curse. He's so fast that once he gets to the second level, though, and this is what the Cowboys have got to focus on getting him. That's why I said, get him on the edge, get him in space. Because once he hits the second level, No, you're not even going to get hands on him. He's just going to run past you. He is going to run past you. He absolutely is. He's going to run past you. But his speed, his quickness is so good. So good. And that will be the challenge. That is going to be the challenge, Angie, for Brian Schottenheimer. Until, as you're saying, because it's not an opinion. No, it's fact. When you look at the scouting report, that's one of the things on Jaden Blue. He seems to go down on arm tackles. No, he's got to be able to get through those arm tackles. So hopefully in this offseason, as he works and they work with him, maybe he can correct that. But the upside on him, speed kills. And he got football speed. Speed kills. And when he gets the ball in his hand, if they get him to that second level, watch out. And Angie, you think about this. The reason why you like him is because your goal is you got to get him to the second level. That's where you want him, in the second level, in space, second level. Now, if you look at what Texas did, looking at the tape on him, Texas did run in between the tackles, though. He can run between the tackles. Problem is, as you said, Angie, but when you're going between the tackles, what happens? Those big linemen, they're getting the big linemen, the defensive tackles, what are they doing? They're getting their arms out. They're getting their arms out. The guys on the edge, they're getting their arms out. If you try to hit one of those holes, what do? They get their arms out. They may hit you on the leg, hit you on the thigh, hit you in the side. So that's where he's got to get better. But if you can get him through clean, oh, man, when he hit that second level and he hit those gears, Angie, it's going to be a foot race every time. And that's why he's going to probably be more of a change of pace back. They probably still will run him between the tackles sometimes. He did the same thing with Tony Pollard, because if you get him on one step through there and he's second level, he'll be even better than Tolbert because, again, he's faster. So that's what you're going to have to work with him. And that's why I think that Maffa is actually going to be eventually the focal back in this thing. Because I think they're going to be using Jaden Blue all over the place. I think they're gonna be using him all over the place because he's that versatile. But again, we'll get into that in a minute. Let's check out what they're saying. That man Dawson got Broaddus hot, don't he? Boy, this man Broaddus is hot, boy. Check him out.
They're better. Right now, they're better. Yes, they're better.
Stand on it, baby. Thing. I like that. Well,
now, again, as we get close to the end of this, where do you think Dak Prescott won in this draft? Where did he win? Because I'm going to tell you where I believe that Dak Prescott won in this draft. Y'all tell me what you think. Where did Dak Prescott win in this draft? What did they do in the draft to benefit Dak Prescott? Y'all tell me what you think.
I just think that we need to be more consistent about it.
Well, I think we need to be more open-minded than what we think about a player we draft might suck.
If open-minded is you asked them to get an offensive lineman, and they did.
But now I'm asking you to be open-minded.
I am open-minded.
I'm saying when you think a player is going to be good.
I would have taken Donovan Jackson if it was me.
I know, and I think I would have liked that pick better based on how you explained it.
That's fine.
But, what I'm saying is just be open-minded to the idea that maybe he can't play.
Be open-minded.
Maybe he can't play.
Now, hey, I see where he's pushing back. Donovan is saying, and let me read a couple super chats in case I forgot them. Hold on a second. I think I got these, maybe I did. Mitch Roman. Okay, I got the first one. Did I get the second one? Mitch Roman. Yes, sir. Mitch Roman, yeah. I'm with you. Appreciate that second $5 super chat. Mitch Roman said, I know what blue and field are. Thunder and lightning. That's what I call them. I call them thunder and lightning. Thunder and blue lightning. I call him blue lightning on my video. Yeah, I call them the same thing. Thunder and lightning. For sure. That is what they're going to develop into. The dude, he said, in today's old-minded NFL, I think you almost need to average close to 30 points a game. It's tough to expect your D to hold a team at 21 points per game week after week. Yeah, because even when we went back and looked at the 90s Cowboys, the dude, I think it was either one of the two of the games they lost, it was those shootout games. You do need to be able to put up points. You do. You need to be able to put up points. And that is fact. For sure. Got to be able to put up them points. All right, let's check out, boy. that man Broaddus hot, don't he?
Would that help Dak if he can't play?
Dawson,
Would that help Dak if he's an unathletic?
This man is saying that Tyler Booker, there's a possibility that he can't play. Yeah, that is a possibility. I don't think it's going to be true. I understand what he's saying. But I also think he's saying that more on the side of, I don't even think it's being open-minded. I think he's just ignoring the skill set of Tyler Booker and saying, no, he's just going to, he's just not going to, there's a chance. And it sounds like he's almost saying there's a good chance. But maybe that's where me and Broaddus are both kind of like, you sound like you saying there's a good chance. Rather, there is a chance that every player is going to be a bust. But when you look at the skill set and the work ethic, it'll be pretty hard for Tyler Booker to be a failure. But let's listen.
Let a guy that can't
Dawson,
play pin and pull.
By all measures, he's a first-round offensive lineman that's one of the best guards in the league. You ask the front office to get him help.
Yeah, and I love the pick. I love the pick.
Okay.
But I don't know. I haven't seen it, Brian. I don't know what he can do at the NFL level. I know what he can do in college, and it was damn impressive. But I'm not going to know until the games start, and then I'll know if they help Dak.
But it sounds like you're downgrading it because you don't know the player.
That's right.
But
because I didn't scout him.
But they got a player that you want. You asked them.
Yeah.
You asked them
Because when you take a player, it's a probability of success.
You can say that about every one of these guys, Dawson.
Exactly.
Every one of these guys.
Yeah.
So the Cowboys just had a draft.
They did.
They just had a draft.
Well, if you scout them, right? They
had a draft.
Do you want me stepping in there and debating the traits of a player with you if I haven't scouted them?
Dawson, you asked him, and you trust that me and Wolchuk maybe have an idea what we're talking about here.
I do. Yeah.
And so by doing that, you say, well, I like
Ian Smith, that's a megaton bomb. Schottenheimer knows what not to do even more so than what to do. Sometimes that's more important. Boy, that's a bomb right there.
what you're saying about this Booker kid.
Yep.
But you've asked them to get an offensive lineman, so I think you have to give them the benefit of the doubt there, at least to start out with. It sounds like you have questions about them drafting a guard.
I don't have any questions about their decision to draft a guard. I love that pick.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
Just so we're
Johnny Hill. I actually think Blue and Martha are going to be what we wanted Zeke and Pollard to be. Because Zeke was on his way and then Zeke got injured. What was that, the 2019 season? I think it might have been the 2019 season where Zeke kind of, what was it, a meniscus issue, something he had strained, some ligaments in his knee, and he played hurt. Zeke was never the same after that. But if we could have got both of them at full prime, hey, these two young dudes right here, they're going to be nasty. They really are. Quack said, you talk about what they said, Dax. Boy, y'all got to be rolling.
We're clear on that. Other winners, Brian Schottenheimer, first draft as a head coach, been in the draft room plenty over the decades as an assistant, but there's a different level of authority.
Yeah.
And he did a nice job.
They leaned on him in this one.
Yes, sir.
They did. And there's some things that, like, when it was day 2, I got over there early and I was watching, I was in where we were broadcasting, and I was watching him, Will McClay, and Stephen Jones go through. And this is how I think they got to the Ezraku pick. This is how I think they had an idea. Like, you could see that Schottenheimer was over on the board. Will had an idea. Will was having a discussion, like trying to tell them, hey, if it falls this way, this is maybe the way we go. I think Brian Schottenheimer had a lot to do with what they're doing in that war room. So that part of it, I think sometimes these coaches don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
I think with his background and with his dad and all that, and being around football and and he has the advantage of knowing what works and what doesn't work with this team. So I think he was a big part of that.
I mean, that's huge. Part of success here for this Cowboys team is having a coach like I felt like they had in Jason Garrett who can help this process.
Yeah,
be better.
Garrett was. I would have loved to work with Garrett as an evaluator, as him being a head coach with his knowledge of players. I think he had a really good understanding for that.
Appreciate that 105.3 The Fan. Boy, I love that discussion. All right, let me read some comments. Some of y'all are answering the question, and then I'm gonna come back and give you my response of where did the Cowboys where did the Cowboys help Dak Prescott? And I'm going to tell you, and some of you I think are on to it, but I'm going to let you know after I read some of your comments. Smoke one for you. He said everywhere but wide receiver. Nisi said shoring up the line and the running back. Hoodie Kush, play action. He said Dak won with running backs and offensive linemen plus building up on the defense. Pete said Booker ain't letting nobody mess with his boy Dak. Dak got a great pass protector and enforcer. I agree with you. Let me see if I got some more answers in here. Where's Turpin going into rotation? I think he's going to help. JS2, I wonder how many who scoffed at the Schottenheimer are now changing their mind. JS2, I said the same thing today on X. Pete, he's a guard who cares about athletic testing. Yes, sir. All right, let me give you where I am on this answer. Smoke one for you. 90s Cowboys had a tough defense with a great D-line and linebackers to go with 2 lockdown corners. We just built a D-line and O-line, all young players like Jimmy and young great college coaches. All right, let me see if I can get to the end, and I'm gonna come back and see. Leaving. It's called Let's Talk Cowboys. If you want to interpret it as that, it's fine with me. Janelle, Johnny L. Hill, he said, imagine worrying about Turpin on returns then dealing with Blue in the backfield. Woo, man. Hey, what if Dallas mess around and throw both of them back there on the return game? Oh, man, boy. Boy, I'm just telling us. Boy, the Cowboys going to have so many options with this thing. All right, let me go back and answer this. Let me tell you where the Cowboys helped out Dak Prescott, and he actually did win. And it is the defense. It's the defense. Defense wins championships. Defense wins championships. A said it. Smoke one for you said it. This is where they're helping out Dak Prescott the most. My man, the dude, said something. Let's think about what the Cowboys seems like they're trying to accomplish. You can beat a lot of teams. I said this the other night. You can beat a lot of teams if you can keep them below 21 points. If you can keep teams below 21 points, you can win a lot of games. And you mess around and get too good, you'll be keeping teams below 17 points. Mediocre teams, you'll be keeping them to 13 points. Man, you'll mess around and hold some of them weak teams to single digits. Defense is where people are not giving the Philadelphia Eagles enough credit because they want to hate and bash on Dak so bad. Jalen Hurts is not the upgrade they made. Jalen Hurts had already went to a Super Bowl. They had already went to a Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts, and he performed better in the Super Bowl they lost than the Super Bowl they won. Jalen Hurts wasn't the answer. The answer was simple for Jalen Hurts. He said it. The first thing out of his mouth, hey, Jalen, what do you think about this win? Defense wins championships. Do we not realize the Kansas City Chiefs had only scored one touchdown by the third quarter? Man, they were putting this man on the ground, sacking him, turning him over. They got 30 points. The defense scored a touchdown. The defense gave them short fields. Man, you give Dak Prescott short fields with Brandon Aubrey. Short fields. You give Dak Prescott a short field with Brandon Aubrey. Now with Jaden Blue. We already know what CeeDee Lamb is. If Ferguson will step up. And then we don't even know, as much as people are doubting Mingo, we don't even know what the heck Mingo going to look like with Dak Prescott. And Jalen Tolbert should probably take another step into his third wide receiver spot because I don't think he's going to go to, I don't think he's a number 2. But when you think about where the Cowboys are really helping Dak Prescott, it's defense. It's defense. Tyler Booker, great. Jaden Blue, great. The second wide receiver will be the cherry on top for Dak. But the other thing they're doing for Dak that is so beautiful, ask Troy Aikman about those defenses. Ask Troy Aikman how good it felt to have that defense on the other side. Ask him. Ask him how easy it is when you got a defense that can hold teams to 10 points in the first half. When they can turn teams over on a consistent basis, where they can rise to the occasion. You can beat a lot of teams like that. They really helped Dak on the defensive side. They really did. They really did. They helped Dak Prescott out tremendously on the defensive side. They did. They did. And Dak ought to be ecstatic right now. Ecstatic for what they did on the defensive side of the ball. Because I'm telling you, it is going to pay dividends for the Dallas Cowboys down the road. Let me tell you something that travels well. When it's raining outside, the pass game ain't traveling. When it's snowing outside, the pass game is not traveling. But when it's raining outside, the run game travels. The run game travels. The defense travels. Snow, the defense travels. Muddy games, any type of game, there is one unit. If you get that unit right, it travels it travels anywhere. A great defense travels anywhere. You can put a great defense on the moon and it shows up. With zero gravity out there, a defense shows up. Man, if I'm Dak Prescott, I'm giddy right now. They got me a defense. I'm telling you now, if I was a quarterback, I would be praying, God, send me a number one defense. Send me a number one defense, God. Please do. Send me a number one defense. With what they've already done for Dak on both sides in the trenches, shoot, I don't know what Dawson talking about. When you got a great defense, that helps the quarterback. Period. In the story, that helps the quarterback. Yeah, they helped him with Jaden Blue. Y'all right. They helped him with Jaden Blue. Y'all right. They definitely helped him with that offensive line with Booker. They helped him out. They did. But it's that defense. That defense. That defense should be a terror this year. It should. That defense should be a terror. And that defense is going to help them. Man, defense wins championships. You win championships in the trenches. You have to be able to control both lines of scrimmage, offensively and defensively. Offensively, you need to be able to run the ball. You need to be able to run the ball. You need to be able to pass block. You need to be able to do those two things. But the defense even more so. Boy, when you got a dominating defense, don't throw the ball, you're going to be on the ground. Let me tell you something. When you can do that to a team, you set the tempo. You're dictating now. You're telling them, bro, there's nothing you're going to be able to do to us today. You better turn our quarterback over because you won't be scoring points. And even if our quarterback turned the ball over, you won't get in the end zone. You better be 30 yards away from the end zone or less, and even then you're going to struggle because if you have to go anything more than 30 yards, you won't be scoring today. People do not give the Philadelphia Eagles defense enough credit for that Super Bowl. I do agree with one of those linemen who said the defensive line should have been the MVP. Yeah, I agree with him. And again, that's why Jalen Hurts, the moment they asked him, he said defense wins championships. I'm telling you, they really helped Dak Prescott with this defense. They did. They helped him tremendously. As Tecker said, ask Chiefs, what happened to them against the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl? Same thing against the Eagles last year. Man, when teams got defense, they travel well. Yes, sir. John LL, he said help the Eagles, but facts are facts. Oh, yeah. That defense was crazy. It was. My man Poobie D in the crib. He got my back. What's going on, Poobie D? Yes, sir. Quack, quack. Boys won 7 games without Dak. But the boys won 7 games without Dak. Hold up. Okay. Help me what we mean on that part. Peter, he said, I'm starting to like Shamar James' kid. I had no idea he was only 20 years old. Man, I've seen a lot of people talking about how good he is. Yeah. Hey, smoke one for you. Man, defense travels, man. Shoot, defense has traveled to the moon. Defense has traveled to the moon, boy. You get you a good defense, boy, you beat a lot of teams. You beat a lot of teams. Azteca said we won't be using blue like that. Why would we? When we already have Turpin. Yeah, I wouldn't. They're gonna use blue in the passing game. Watch what I tell you. Blue's gonna be a part of the passing game, and I definitely would throw them both back there on kickoff returns. I throw them both back there depending upon how they line up. But man, if you can get both of them on the field, man, speed kills. Turpin and Blue on the field at the same time. Speed kills. JS2, what's going on? He said, I've seen enough of Tobin and his drops. He said, wide receiver 2 through 5 should be a wide open competition. It is. Let's see who emerges. Maybe Mingo, maybe Holden. Who knows? Man, JS2, I got to go back and do some more looking on this dude, Trayshawn Holden. Boy, they really talking this dude up. They're talking him up. I've been seeing a lot of people talking him up. I got to go back and look at some more film on him. Yes, sir. Charlie Carter, you're right. Defense wins, man. Defense kills, man. All right, you said it's buffering, Angie. I don't know. See if you can refresh your browser. I don't see anything jittering on this side. But again, hey, Angie, I've been having some issues with AT&T, but we're gonna get that worked out. But again, I want to listen to a couple of player interviews, and I'm gonna let you guys get out of here. It's already 9:33. Nisi said no connection. I still see him. I'm over here. Y'all let me know if it keeps on going. That dude from 105 sniped the stream because I was making fun of his whining. Let's see. Smoke 140 said, I guess I need to pay G Internet with Law Nations too. Hey, man, AT&T be tripping. They have been tripping. It's AT&T, I'm telling y'all. I think this is one of the issues is I think they're trying to get me to get that higher speed internet. I think because I already got 1 gigabyte, and I think I'm gonna switch over to 2 gigabytes here next week and see what that does. Again, I'm gonna see what that does. All right, let's just do a couple of player interviews, and then I'm gonna let you guys get out of here. Appreciate y'all rocking with me again. If you hadn't subscribed, please do. Set that notification bell. Hit that like button if you haven't. And then we're going to listen to a couple interviews. And then if we come back tomorrow, we'll either listen to some more tomorrow or we'll listen to some on Monday. But there's a couple of these, and there's one of these that people have been talking about. Let's see what we're doing here. There's one of these that people have been talking about, so I want to listen to it. I hadn't heard it yet. And ironically, it is from the one I want to listen to in particular. And some of y'all have probably already heard this. The one I want to listen to in particular is Trayshawn Holden. Let me see here. Let's listen to, matter of fact, we'll listen to about 3 of them. And then we're going to get out of here tonight. Appreciate y'all rocking with me on this Sunday night. Y'all the best chat in the land. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I want to listen to 3. Let's see. Wait, let me see. Let's listen to Trayshawn Holden first. Let's check him out.
Just somebody that's going to take advantage of every opportunity they get. You know, that's me. That's how I operate, and that's how I plan to be while I'm a dog.
They're getting and what to expect.
Just somebody that's a dog.
They're getting and what to expect.
Just somebody that's going to take advantage of every opportunity they get, you know.
This man off the rip said, I'm a dog. he said off the rip. He said, I'm a dog, man. I'm a dog. Jalen Tolbert. Jalen Tolbert. You better watch out, bro.
That's me. That's how I operate, and that's how I plan to be while I'm here.
What's it like for you right now being in the NFL? What's it been like for you?
It's like a dream come true. Like, started playing football when I was 7, and I'm here. So I'm just happy to be here and ready to make a name for myself.
You carry a chip on your shoulder as an undrafted guy?
Definitely. Every day.
How does that manifest in work ethic or anything moving forward?
I mean, I've always been the kind to just work hard in general, but it's just like I feel disrespected. So now it's time to make it happen.
Do you have any other offers?
I'm going to tell you guys, man, this is one of the things about the NFL people do not understand. There are only so many positions to go around. There are only so many people they can have in the draft. Man, people do not understand how many people could actually be better than some of the players that got drafted. Man, players get overlooked for weird reasons in the NFL. They really do. And it really helps when you go to a big program. But I'm telling you, man, sometimes people go to these programs and I'm telling you, they be great players. Just don't get the opportunity. And so this guy, Trayshawn Hill, boy, I love what he's saying. He said, I took this personal. He said, boy, I took this personal. Appreciate you, John L. Hill. He said, great show, G. He said, I usually be on the recap mode. Glad I caught you live. Yes, sir, DC4L. Man, I'm telling you, boy, this joker, man, he taking this personal. I would too. I take this stuff personal, man. Shoot. Pete said he had a 5th round grade on Holden. Man, I'm telling you. Angie said, Pete, for me, it's the lack of confidence it seems Tolbert goes through. Inconsistent, Angie. Inconsistent. That's what we got. Lil D, he said we got 2 Dez Bryants, Mingo and Flournoy. Lamb, Turpin, just one more speed route running playoffs. It's possessions and defense. We good. Lil D, again, we going to see. Mingo, and again, don't count out Flournoy. But this dude, Trayshawn Holden, said, I'm not here just for the camp. Trayshawn Holden said, I'm here to take a spot.
That you were considering, or was it once the Cowboys kind of talked, it was like, hey, I want to go play with Junior in the Cowboys?
It was a few teams that hit me, but once Coach June called, I'm like, it's no brainer. Go my boy. Yeah.
Yes,
A
sir.
lot of good receivers at Oregon, too.
Mm-hmm.
What did that kind of help you in terms of blending in to a receiving core and kind of doing your role within other talented guys?
Really, I like watching other receivers, like, and taking stuff out of their game and adding it to mine. So with a guy like Tez, you feel me? He's small,
Yes,
but
sir,
he got a lot of game to him. And I used to watch Tez a lot and just take little bits and pieces from him because I'm a bigger guy. And when I got to play in the slot, move around like him. So, yeah, just taking bits and pieces and adding them to my toolbox. People.
Is that something you've kind of already started to do with CD as far as like taking bits and pieces of what makes him excellent at this level?
I've been watching CD for like 3 years now.
Okay, Angie. Angie, I have to get your opinion on this. Angie, now I know you said CeeDee Lamb. I know you said CeeDee Lamb is a supermodel. I know you said CeeDee Lamb is your man. What's up with Trayshawn Holden, Angie? Future husband material? What's up with Trayshawn? Tell me what's up.
So I've been. That's crazy. I get to be in a room with him. So when I do, I haven't met him yet, but when I do, I'm gonna definitely pick his brain every chance I get. Yeah.
Cowboys didn't draft a wide receiver. I guess when you see that, how much does that motivate you to potentially be the part in this class that is the receiver of this class?
Oh no, it's definitely that was another reason why I decided to come too. And they didn't draft a guy, and I feel like I was one of the best receivers, and now I just can show everybody that I am. Yeah.
How hard is draft weekend when you're kind of hoping to get a call and it doesn't come?
I mean, I kind of had it in the back of my mind. I ain't perfect. I made a few mistakes in my career, so I kind of knew if it was a possibility, but it still hurt. But shoot, I'm here.
What would you say you learned from those mistakes?
I learned everything. Like I don't take none of them for granted. I look at them as a blessing because if I'm in them situations again, I know exactly how to handle them.
So why? Yes, sir. I like that Trayshawn Holden interview. He sounds like he's ready to go. Angie got me, bro. Angie said, "Gee, I'll pass." She said, "I'm loyal to CD, but I like the confidence." Angie, what you gonna say if he make the team? Could him making the team change your mind? Could him making the team change your mind? All right, my man Shug Midnight in here. What's going on with you? It's okay. The dude said getting busy tones on the feed. Okay, not happening on my end. All right. Lost in translation. Hey man, you're still holding. He looking pretty good. Niecy said he got swag. Niecy said he got swag. Yes, sir. Charlie Carter said his hair look funny. Yeah, he got that natural stuff though. He got that natural hair going, and it's probably naturally curly or something to that effect. But anyway, all right, let's check out a couple more. I wanted to hear him because I heard some people talking about him. Let's check out this dude. Is that Siobhan Revel? I don't think this. Let me see here. This is Siobhan Revel Jr. I don't know what that other one is. All right, let's check this one out. Guys, I gotta be honest with you. This dude, Siobhan Revel Jr. I am very excited to see this dude on the field. I mean, I saw some highlights of him, and he looked great. I am really interested to see what he looks like healthy on the field for Dallas. And he's an absolute dog. Let's check him out.
Cowboys Nation, Nicole Hutchison joined by the newest rookie, one of the newest rookies, third-round pick cornerback, and I purposely didn't say your name because I want you to say every mispronunciation that we've heard so far because we don't want no problems with mama.
Now, I think his name, I thought it was Siobhan Revel Jr., but let's see what he pronounces his name as.
We don't want no problems with coaches at all. So just tell us, how do we say your name?
Siobhan Revel.
Siobhan Revel.
Okay,
right,
Siobhan Revel. I got you.
I got a chance to see you out there in day 2 of rookie minicamp. Just how do you feel like you're feeling right now?
I'm really excited. Tried to slip in through the little exercises, but they kept the eye on me. But it was very exciting watching the boys go out there and work. You still got some. Of course we got some work to do and some areas to clean up. But it was a very exciting moment for me and the players.
And you've gotten a chance to now be in the building so far. What has it finally set in that you are a Dallas Cowboy?
Oh yeah, I've been in Dallas for about 4 months. I love Texas, regardless even if I wasn't in Dallas, I love Texas. But overall, yes, bro, the coaches treat us like family. Everybody treat us like family every time you run up to somebody. It could be the security guard, anybody. Just good hospitality, man. Everybody want to greet you, want to bring you home.
And that's the culture that Brian Schottenheimer's obviously talked about building here, the family culture. Just have you had those veterans kind of reached back and helped you out so far and getting you adjusted here?
I haven't met any of the veterans, but of course before this process, I've had dinner and stuff. Like I've met veterans that been through this process, so I know I was signing myself up for. So just getting to work and taking it day by day.
I want to talk about your story, overcoming a lot of adversity from high school up until your college.
Here it is. This is the story. Schtty likes these kind of guys. They're overcomers, strong leadership.
Years, even until now, torn ACL, but still drafted to the Dallas Cowboys. How would you describe your story?
I say describe. Just be determined, passionate, and do what you want to do. Focus on you. I say this a lot of times to people, to a group of people. Just do what you want to do. Don't live your life based off what you see everybody else do on social media or outside the world, because only you can live your own life. So just push forward, man. You got people behind you to support you. If you don't got the people behind you, man, just build your own circle and find those people that want to see you do their best, and also find the people that want them to do their best themselves. So.
What's kept you going, and how do you plan to kind of draw from that experience to now battle your way on the roster here in Dallas?
Everybody, man. It's just I know I got to work. My family right there behind me, and I also do this. I don't always think about myself. I think about other people too. I also don't think about my family all the time. I also think about the people outside the world, like outside this facility or outside of like this atmosphere that don't have access to things like this. So I'm using every opportunity I got and not taking it for granted. So everything I got right now, I just put it out to work.
Well, let me ask you something. What separates you from other cornerbacks in this draft class?
I say my effort. I'm willing to work. I'm willing to give the coaches all that I got, 110%. And you hear that from a lot of people. A lot of players are going to say that, but that's just one thing I feel like I'm not just talking. I'll show it on the field.
Last question as well. Your dad is a longtime Cowboys fan. Does he finally have some Cowboys gear?
Man, he texted me this morning. He was like, "Love you, son. Hey, I'm happy waking up to know my son a Cowboy." That's all I get. He happy every day now. So, and my aunt, my dad, my brother, I'm not gonna say the whole family, for real. He's very excited, man. I'm very happy for him and my family that they've been behind me my whole life. Been playing football since I was 4 years old, and he never missed a year. So, just my dad, man. I give credit to my dad and my mom. My mom was to drop me off at football practice every day. You know, my dad was there to give. You know, he gave us the cleats, the shoes, the helmet, stuff like that, man. Just them being there for me and just seeing how hard my mom and my dad worked to get where they at. And that kind of keep me pushing every day. And just seeing them do what they did, and they kind of had it harder than I did. So I never complained. I just pushed forward.
Well, I'm rooting for you, and I'm excited to cover you here in Dallas. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's Savone Revel Jr. I'm like you, lost in translation. Not a lot of revealing stuff from her, but Savone Revel Jr., man, this dude is going to be, if he's healthy, I've already seen some people in the chat, and I've already said it before. Trayvon Diggs in trouble. I think, I don't know if you could send a message any clearer to a cornerback. Where does he fit in? And don't think because the Cowboys didn't pick up Kaiir Elam's fifth-year option that the Cowboys are not big on Kaiir Elam. That is not what that means. That means they were not paying it. The Cowboys want to see if Kaiir Elam is up to snuff, and then he'll be in their building, and then they'll be able to negotiate their own deal with him rather than picking up his fifth-year option. Now, the danger of Kaiir Elam, if he comes in here and perform for the Cowboys this year, and then he steps out as an unrestricted free agent, well, I mean, we didn't give up any draft capital for him. I don't think we give up any draft capital for him, if I'm not mistaken. We didn't give up any draft capital for him. Make sure. Thought the Bills cut him out right and the Cowboys got him. But the danger is if he comes out balling, well, the Cowboys are going to lose him. It's just a fact. They're going to lose him. But the Cowboys are willing to take the chance, and they're hoping that Kaiir Elam is good also to where they can get him on a very good deal. They're hoping they can get him on a discount deal. And so, let's see. Yeah. Okay, they traded with the Bills. Okay, so we did trade. So the Buffalo received a 5th round and a 7th round. That's right. So it was the equivalent of a 6th. Okay. So even when you think about it in the grand scheme of things, if we don't keep him, you lose. You lost the 6th round draft pick. So in the grand scheme of things, it's a chance the Cowboys are willing to take, because if Kaiir Elam turns out to be good, then you get to negotiate your own deal with him. So I just don't know what Kaiir Elam, I just don't know where Trayvon Diggs is going to fit into all this. Where is Trayvon Diggs, man? Where is he going to fit in all this? I'm very interested, but I do think, I've already showed you guys this in the past. When you look at Trayvon Diggs' contract, it's already set up. The Cowboys set his contract up to walk away from him this year. So if they don't trade him, we'll see what happens. Angie said if he make the team, I'll support him, but he ain't CD runaway ready. She said he ain't runaway ready. She said he ain't runaway ready like CD. I hear you. Cheyenne said overall team is coming together in a way that makes me more excited about Schtty. Oh yeah, Cheyenne, hey, he's doing his thing. There's no doubt about it. He just said got that sideshow Bob haircut. Ooh. Tommy Lee, a lot of people are saying this. Tommy T, steal of the draft. A lot of people are saying this about Savone Revel Jr. They're saying it. A lot of people are saying it. They're saying he would have been the first round pick. I'm gonna tell you who else I think has maybe the steal of the draft. The Cowboys got a couple of these players, and I think the players that they have that may absolutely shock everybody, because I want to make sure we remember that after this season is up, I want to look back on this draft. And see what we think about it when we look back on it. How did these players contribute, or were they able to contribute at all? But the Cowboys, man, I'm telling you, Jaden Blue and Phil Maffa, man, they have an opportunity to show everybody in this league that they made a mistake on them. They do. Yeah, Tolbert had the most TDs, Pete. And the problem with him, though, I think the Cowboys heaped too much on Tolbert. They were trying to make him a second, but in the grand scheme of things, I think Tolbert is a solid third. He's a solid third wide receiver. And he's got to get a lot more consistent. Because, again, you see the Pittsburgh game, but then you don't see that again. So we got to see what he is consistently. And maybe he'll make another step this year. Mac McCain, he said, I'm telling you guys first, don't be surprised if Trayshawn Holden does not get that number 2 spot. He was an absolute dog, and he is dead hungry. Yes, sir. I love it. He's got a chip on his shoulder. John L. says if Revel can come to full form, Diggs is on notice. Might be on notice. Oh, he is on notice. I do believe he is on notice. Yeah, he's on notice. I do believe he is definitely on notice. Suge Midnight, we can look at it like we have Diggs, Revel, Blend in our secondary for a year. Oh, I think that's a possibility too, Suge Midnight. I think that's definitely a possibility. I talked about that the other day. Yeah, it's a great possibility. We have all 3 of them in that doggone secondary, and that would be good too. Question is, where do you move who? Deron Blend can play both in and out, so Deron Blend could maybe move to that end, but I'm not sure if he wants to play that end when he's trying to get a contract because he wants to make sure he gets that outside wide receiver money. But we'll see how that all goes. But I'd love to see all 3 of them on the field. And if they could work it out to where if Diggs comes back 100% healthy and have all 3 of them, and you could find a way to keep all 3 of them up on the contract, boy, that would be great. It really would be great. But, after what I saw this season, boy, Diggs going to have to make a big turnaround. Pastor Jason said when Diggs was intercepting the ball all the time, people overlooked his poor coverage. Not anymore. I think one of the things that was really bad about him this year was the tackling. Lost in Translation said we got to work on her questions. That's a North Carolina boy, bro. We work for ours and don't blame others. He has a great head on his shoulders. He will come with it. You watch. Yeah, he looks like he's going to be good, man. He really do. He look like he's going to be good. Yes, sir. Big, strong boundary cornerback. Yes, sir. That's the one advantage. He's one of the things we were knocking Trayvon Diggs on is that joker he was missing tackles left and right. Texas Martinez, he said, if our corners are healthy, I'd put Diggs at cornerback 1, Revel at cornerback 2, and Bland on the slot. Yeah, he can play the slot. As long as they make sure that when they pay him, they're going to pay him that outside money. Pete says, Kyrie Elam has been good in the playoffs. 2 interceptions in 5 games and an 82 passer rating when targeted. Hey, Pete, they want him to be successful. Don't let nobody get it twisted. They want him to be successful. They just were not going to be dumb enough to get that 5th-year option on him. They want to see what he is first. And they're going to give him the opportunity, too. He is definitely going to get the opportunity. But, yeah, again, I want to check out a couple of these guys. And, again, man, I tell y'all, I'm feeling pretty good where the Cowboys are right now. Feeling real good. All right, guys, I'm going to try to come back tomorrow. And we're going to see if we can get through some more of those interviews. And I'm pretty sure there'll be some more stuff dropping. I'll be dropping a couple of videos in between. But, again, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, subscribe if you already haven't. But I'm telling you, man, boy, I'm loving everything I'm seeing about the Cowboys right now. Only part we need now is to see what it all looks like on the field. Yes, sir. Todd Church, my man in the crib. He right. And we still got Butler. Still trying to see what Kalen Carson is, too. Todd Church, we are deep at cornerback. Again, I am in 100% agreement with you. We're deep at cornerback. We are. I wouldn't mind if they want to bring in Stephon Gilmore again. Angie, Mozzie will be fine. Let me tell you something. I believe Mozzie's going to take a step this year. Unfortunately, Angie, and you already know this, it takes time for these guys in these trenches to really develop. It just does. It just does. It takes time. We're going to see Oso Digizua this year. You watch what I tell you. Oso Digizua is going to be a terror this year. Mozzie Smith, he going to be a terror this year. He going to take that next step. Mozzie has really been dealt a bad hand in some respects. He went through two defensive coordinators. And it's not so much the fact that he went through 2 defensive coordinators, but he went through 2 defensive coordinators where one of them wanted him to lose weight and the other one wanted him to gain his weight back. So now he's back to his regular weight. Now, I believe Mozzie, shoot. I think he about to take a step, Angie. And I believe he about to take a huge step. Yes, sir. I mean, yes, ma'am. He's better than we give him credit. Oh, no, I think he's going to take a huge step this year with these coaches. They're going to have him ready. I do believe they're going to have him ready. Yes, sir. I mean, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I see you, Todd Church. He said, I will bet my house Mozzie will be great this year. Hey, it's that time. Man, these guys hit that third year. Shoot, they ready. They are ready. Hey, Janelle, I'm telling you, I'm not going to compare him to Jimmy yet, but I see some Jimmy stuff. I see some Jimmy stuff. I do. Again, man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight. I'm going to get back at it. As y'all can see, I got my screen up behind me. We got some more things. We got a couple of more things we got to put together. We're going to be under construction for the next month. Man, we just continuing to build on the studio. I appreciate all you guys' contributions. We're going to keep getting this thing built up. The dude, he said, another great episode, G. Have a happy and safe rest of the weekend for everyone. Yes, sir. I'm with you. And again, y'all get ready. If we don't come back tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening, man, I don't do nothing on Monday. It might be time for Cowboys After Dark tomorrow night. All you night owls, some of y'all got to go to work. Y'all can catch it on the way to work on the replay. And for those of us who stay up late, I say set your clocks. I'll sing you out something. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell so you'll be able to catch me on Cowboys After Dark. If you stay up late nights on Sunday nights, you'll be able to catch me. If not, you'll be able to catch me on the replay. But again, I appreciate you. Appreciate y'all. I'm telling you, y'all are absolutely the best chat. Y'all are the best chat on YouTube. Appreciate you, Andrew. She said great show. And I want to make sure I shout you out again. Quack, quack. Appreciate that. Appreciate the super chats. My girl Angie, the Rebel Chicks. Appreciate the super chats. Mo's threes. Is it Mo Ski or Mo 3 Ski? Mo 3 Ski or Mo Ski? Appreciate the super chat. Rico, appreciate the super chat. Rico Dorsey. Smoke one for you. Appreciate the super chat. Mitch Roman, appreciate the super chats. It'll all go towards the channel. Again, appreciate y'all rocking with me. Until the next time, let's talk Cowboys. We talk facts. Peace.